Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to Woodville Road, the home of Eglinton Cricket Club. Today, we are here in the Northwest Cricket Union for the penultimate game in the Evoke T20 Super Series. Today, we have the Dragons against the Typhoons, and you can see the Typhoons getting their team picture as we speak. A beautiful day here in the Northwest. Game delayed by an hour due to traffic problems getting to the game, but we're all set to start today. As I say, beautiful conditions here at Eglinton. So just a few moments ago, I was out in the middle for the toss with the two captains. We'll bring you those details now. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome along to Woodville Road, home of Eglinton Cricket Club. Today, we have the penultimate game in the Evoke T20 Super Series between the Dragons and the Typhoons. I have with me today the two captains, Leah Paul of the Dragons and Laura Delaney of the Typhoons, and match referee Ian Gamble. We're about to have the toss, so we can have the coin.
Yes, I won, thank you.
So the Typhoons have won the toss, such as it was, and I have Laura Delaney here. So what's your decision, Laura?
We're going to have a field first. It looks like a really nice wicket. We obviously haven't played here before, and we've come off the back of 2 wins when we fielded first, so hence the decision to field first today.
Okay, so fielding first. A little bit of a tough journey up here today, but hopefully that won't affect you. Started the campaign really well. Just last few games maybe dropped off again, but now looking at a big game today.
Yeah, I suppose we had the same starting 11 in the first 2 games, and then that changed for the last 2, but great opportunity for all of us to go out here and contribute with both the bat and ball, and we're really looking forward to it.
Excellent. Any major team news for us? Anybody new in today?
So I come in instead of Rebecca Stokel, and Sinead Thompson comes in instead of Alice Walsh.
Well done. Congratulations and good luck today. Leah? So they're going to have a field first. You're batting again. Any thoughts?
Yeah, we were actually going to bat first if we won, so happy enough with that.
Yeah, looks a decent track here. So was that your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I think we were just trying to post a total that we thought we could defend with our bowling attack we have.
Yeah, and sort of opposite to the Typhoons. Bit of a struggle when I spoke to you at Lisburn. Lost those 2 games, but you've really picked up in the last few weeks.
Yeah, I think in the first 2 games we probably struggled a bit batting-wise, trying to build those partnerships. And then I think the last few games our top orders probably performed a bit better, which has given us a really good platform coming into the last few overs.
Excellent. And up in the northwest of Ireland today, sun's out. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. We have a few girls from the northwest playing today, so hopefully they can, show off their talent in front of some friends and family.
Excellent. Thank you, Leah, and good luck today. So just to recap, that the Typhoons have won the toss and they have decided to field first. So today we're looking for the Dragons to keep flying high or the Typhoons to create a storm. So there we go, the toss details. Captain Laura Delaney won the toss for her side, the Typhoons, and they have decided to field first, as you've heard there. They have decided to field first as they did in the first 2 games. So out there in the middle already are your 2 umpires for today, George Brawley and Vinnie O'Hara. I am delighted today to be joined by the captain of the men's Interprovincial Northwest Warriors, Shane Getgate. Welcome along today, Shane. Great to have you with us.
Thanks, Ali. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here in the northwest at Eglinton Cricket Club. The sun's out. It looks like it's going to be a great day's cricket. Hopefully a really competitive game from these 2 sides, the Typhoons and the Dragons. So yeah, really looking forward to what's going to be on display.
Yeah, as you say, really good conditions out there by the look of it. The ground looks in fantastic condition. We've had a wee look at the wicket. Looks pretty decent early, and just throughout this T20 Super Series the scores have been improving as we go along and the wickets improve. So as you say, we're looking for a really competitive game today.
Yeah, no, 100%. Looks a really good wicket. Sun's out, some short boundaries straight from both ends, so hopefully the batters can I suppose assess the conditions, have a look early on, see what the ball's doing, and then get that balance between being really aggressive and setting up a nice platform for the batters to come in at the end.
Yes, opening the batting for the Dragons, the same combination as the last game. On strike here, number 12 is Bella Armstrong, and at the non-striker's end is Amy Hunter. So we're all set for this game in the northwest between the Dragons and the Typhoons. Off the edge a little bit, but first ball of the day goes for 4. Eva Canning just a little bit wide there, and got a little bit of bat on it, and it ran down to the third boundary. And as we can see, the outfield quite quick.
Yeah, it's always nice to start your innings with a boundary first ball. Gets the confidence going, doesn't matter how they come. So great start there.
A little bit of a tighter line that time from Ava Canning, just tucking up Bella Armstrong. A conventional and in-swing bowler, Ava Canning.
Yeah, seems like she's getting a bit of a swing back in, which is good. It's always handy if the ball is moving laterally or in the air early on.
That's good running. Quick call from Amy Hunter. And that's the type of thing that can just take over the scoreboard. Good running between the wickets, and we've seen a little bit of problems earlier on in this series, but that looked a good combination there between Hunter and Armstrong.
Oh, definitely, rotation of the strike is key. Even though we're in the power play, and there's more likely to be boundaries. Rotation is key, just to hopefully not put too much pressure on the batters. Keep rotating, put the bowlers under pressure as much as they can.
So brings Amy Hunter on strike for the first time today. Just drifting down the legs, yep. And as we've sort of established over the years now, anything at all that drifts down is going to be given a wide. Mary Waldron happy to stand up as keeper here. And keep Amy Hunter in her crease. Yeah, that's well played from Amy Hunter. Alice Tector with a fielding. Keeps it down to 1.
Seems to be a bit of bounce here at Eglinton. Looks a good wicket. Just from playing here, through my own experience, it's a little bit. It can be a little bit tennis bally, but no, it looks a really good wicket. I think the bowlers will definitely have to look to bowl top of the stump to stump, no width. It's going to be key here in the first 6.
And a no ball's been called. A decent connection there from Armstrong. Gets it into the outfield. Comfortable too. Good start here from the Dragons. They'll take the no ball as well. So it's been a really good opening over for them. And of course, the no ball gives them a free hit also.
Yeah, it's nice to get a free hit early in your innings. I'll be running. I would have been running quickly back for that second for this delivery here.
A long handle to it, but well positioned out on the boundary. We've got a square leg out on the boundary there. Keeps it to 1. So they've got away with that one. It's still a 1 ball in this opening over to come with those extras. And already 11 from it. And a better ball to finish the over. Amy Hunter knocks it back. So a good start from the Dragons. 11 coming from that first over.
Yeah, really good start there by the Dragons. Just making use of any width that Ava was providing for the batters. So yeah, great start. 11 for none with the first. Looks a really good wicket here. And there might be spin coming on, so not a bad option from the Typhoons. Just try to take the pace off the ball.
Yeah, spin coming on here with Freya Sargent, very successful so far this year. She's been doing well for her captain. You mentioned the wicket. Shane, we were out there earlier. It does look a good wicket, but you can see the crown where the actual pitch forms. It does move up a couple of inches where the actual square is. So possibly that bounce you're talking about could be a little bit pronounced here at Eglinton.
Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, it can be a little bit tricky bowling from this end because it is a little bit raised, but it's generally normally a good wicket here. And hopefully it takes a little bit of turn that the Typhoons will be hoping with the new ball.
Yeah, nice and tight on the money from Freya Sargent first up. And she's got our boundary riders out at long on. So although that's a simple single, no more than that. Brings Amy Hunter's just taking guard there. Just trying to. We've got a deep square and a long on. Are your 2 boundary riders, of course, only 2 allowed outside within the first 6. And a good start from Freya Sargent. She's been very consistent so far in this Super Series. Quite slow through the air, but very accurate. That's exactly what our skipper's after. Yeah, just with that slowness of delivery there, Emma Hunter easily on the back foot and knocks it down the ground for 1.
Yeah, I don't think Freya would want to be tossing it up too much from this end. It's quite a short boundary straight. It's about 50 yards straight, so just trying to hopefully go into the pitch, hold a good length. Great shot down the ground there from Bella Armstrong. Rotation of strike here has been really good from the 2 batters so far. We're only an over and a half into the innings, but it's been really noticeable compared to my first game I watched at Wallace Park a couple of weeks ago. They look to have really worked on rotation, and
that's a great shot. That is a lovely shot from Emmy Hunter onto the back foot and beats the ring. And once she did that, good enough connection to take it all the way to the boundary. And that's the best shot we've had so far from Emmy Hunter. Back live now. Another single. Yeah, you're so right. Shane, a really good point you make, because we watched that game. In fact, those 2 games at Wallace Park a few weeks back. And there were a few running problems that day for the Dragons. A couple of run-outs in their first game. And I think even sorting that out has really upped their game. They've come good in the last couple of weeks and picked up a few wins in the last 2 games. Although they might not eventually end up winning the Evoke T20 series, it's definitely picked up the squad, and they certainly look a better outfit.
Yeah, I suppose as a coach, just talking to James Cameron over the last couple of weeks, that he's definitely seen a lot of improvements, and that's all you can ask from your players. Sometimes the results just don't go your way, but if your individuals are improving and you're improving as a team, that's all you can ask for from your players. Keep working hard and get better from game to game.
Yeah, we're trying to continue. Cut again. Beating the infield again. Will it go for 4? Oh, it may have just reached the boundary there. Alice Tector doing the fielding. We'll have to have a look at that one. Did she get there? And she has. It's a great effort.
Great effort there from Alice Tector to save the boundary. Every run counts in T20 cricket, makes such a big difference for that overall total at the end. Just a little bit more width from Ava Canning. Should be looking to hopefully correct that now and just take away any width for the batters to be able to cut through that offside.
Big appeal. As we're back live here, a big appeal. Not given. Just a leg by. Again down to Alice Tector, who does the fielding. Better line that time from Eva Canning. No width.
Yeah, really good line there from Eva Canning. Just a little bit high, I reckon. Good decision there from the umps.
Much tighter line. So yeah, this is you're talking about. The fielding has been good in the Super Series so far. Certainly the ground fielding has been excellent. I've been very impressed with the ground fielding so far.
Yeah, it's definitely such an important factor in T20 cricket. I think if you can bat and bowl, that's great. But if you're able to save runs in the field, take match-winning catches, that's going to make a difference at the end of the day.
Well played by Emmy Hunter. I think she's definitely played that deliberately. Another chase for Alice Tector. She's kept busy in that position. That's 3 balls she's fielded in the over as well. Again, pulls it in, keeps it to 2.
Yeah, a lot of runs have come down in that third area. I think a change of field might happen here from Laura Delaney as she comes across to the offside, which is good. Nice and proactive. I think if you can block that off and make the batters look somewhere else, that can maybe, bring in a false shot and hopefully get a wicket or 2 in this power play.
Yeah, just left a gap on the leg side now. So Eva Canning needs to keep to her line. And does keep to her line. It's just to the left of Lord Delaney, but it's good bowling from Eva Canning. She's only got 2 on the leg side in the ring, so she can't really drift onto the leg stump at all.
Yeah, 26 for none here, just before the third over. Looks a really good wicket. I think just trying to assess his conditions. I think they'll need 130, 140 on this ground, on this wicket. So hopefully the Dragons can keep this partnership going.
Gone in the air though, and the first wicket falls. She's in the game again. Alice Tector takes the catch. Bella Armstrong, exactly as you were saying, Shane, possibly looking for the gaps on the leg side. She's played slightly across, inside out to that one. Got a leading edge up in the air, and as I say, Alice Tector has been banging the game in these first 3 overs. She takes the catch, and the first Dragons wicket falls.
Commentator's curse there, so apologies to Bella Armstrong. Good wicket there, just looking at the leg side, just came across it a bit leading edge. It looked like the ball held up just a fraction on the wicket. Good catch there by Alice Tector. So some of those days the ball just kind of follows you, and that seems to be the case so far. But it's always nice to get a catch early on. It gets the confidence up before Alice comes onto bowl. So great start for her day.
Yeah, and looking at the score, it was actually a needed wicket for the Typhoons, because the Dragons had got off to a really good start, picking up boundaries, but as we said, also rotating the strike, throw in a couple of extras as well, and you were up to well over 8 in the first 3. So just picking that wicket up, bringing in a new batter, and possibly getting the Dragons to start again.
Yeah, definitely taking wickets in the power play. Throughout the innings really has got to bring that run rate down, and it's got to force the batters to stop start and build partnerships. So breaking those partnerships are key throughout the innings. So great to get a wicket there early on in the innings.
So Freya Sargent is going to continue from this clubhouse end. She'll be a little bit disappointed there, Freya. It's her own bowling, it's her own figures. If you're not going to look after your own figures, nobody else is going to.
Yeah, exactly. No one to blame there. Probably should have stopped that one, but unlucky for Freya. And we see Cara Murray promoted up the order, which is great to see. She's batted well this season, from what I've seen so far. A lot of good cameos down the order, so great to see her get an opportunity here up the order.
A little bit short. Probably if she'd been in for a few overs, she might have got a better connection on that and pulled it through mid-wicket, possibly. Always nervous first up. It's in the air, and it's gone. And a good catch from Robin Searle. Move to her left. She's taking the catch. Cara Murray will be disappointed there. Second ball she faced, trying to go over the infield, didn't quite get enough wood on it, and she's chipped that into the sort of cover region, and Robin Searle has made ground to her left and taken the catch.
Yeah, great catch there by Robin Searle, just moving to her left. I think Cara just came across that one a little bit, maybe didn't commit to the shot as much as she would have liked to. Great catch moving to her left there, Robin Searle, really good. 2 from 2 in the field in terms of catches, so great start for the Typhoons. As we said, they've started the innings well here in terms of run rate. But if the Typhoons can keep taking wickets, I think the stats say if you take 3 wickets in the first 6, 70-80% of the time they go on to lose that game. So really good start here for the Typhoons, and great catch again there for Robin Searle.
Yeah, just looking at that catch, I think it was her feet, good feet movement, got her across and got in good position to take the catch. If she hadn't used those feet to get her across there, she had to be diving well to her left, but she was in a good position, nice and solid to take the catch in the end. So yeah, obviously we talked about run rate, but wickets in hand now, they've got to maybe settle in again now. Next bat in now is the captain for the Dragons, left-hander of course, Leah Paul. So left hand, right hand may help the Dragons here, but we need to reassess here because run rate's fine. Just maybe look to tick it over again with singles.
Yeah, I think this is a key partnership here for the Dragons. 2 of their more experienced players, 2 Irish players, Leah Paul and Amy Hunter. They just look to rebuild here for a bit. They've just lost 2 quick wickets in the space of a couple of balls, so even though they're in the power play and they want to keep that aggressive approach, I think just rebuilding for a couple of overs, going to maybe 6-7 or over, not taking too many risks will be key to building a good partnership moving forward.
Nicely bowled from Freya Sargent there. See a little bit of turn there. I like to see that, especially bowling now to a left-hander. There is a little bit of grip. Brings the wicket-keeper bang into play. Yeah, I think that's good bowling now. She's actually decided to give it a little bit of air now and say, okay, you're 2 down, so do you want to take a chance and go aerial? Just like maybe Cara Murray just did. So good bit of bowling there from Freya Sargent. She gets the wicket, and after 4 overs, the Dragons 27 for 2.
Yeah, really good bowling there from Freya Sargent. I think for the left-handers especially, I'd like to see a slip in there just to be a little bit more aggressive, keep taking wickets like we spoke about. That could be a great option. There is a bit of turn there, and she is bowling well. It'll be interesting to see if she gets a third, or will she be taken off by Laura Delaney. Personally, I'd keep her going. I think take the pace off, and keep her going from this end.
Yeah, it just becomes a bit of a set routine that the spinner will come on to start ball 1, maybe 2, and then even if they've done well, we've got to get her out of the attack there. So that'll be interesting to see, as you say, Shane, whether or not she gets a third. But Ava Canning is going to have a third. She usually bowls at least 3. She's going to come in now from the Willow's end. And well bowled outside the off. That's her stock ball. Amy Hunter again looking for that little dab down to third, and this time doesn't get anything on it. Just changing her guard there, Amy Hunter.
Yeah, I suppose just trying to weigh up your options, I suppose. The Dragons are heavily stacked up the top of the order, so trying to get their experienced players out was probably really important. So I think Freya, I'd definitely be giving her another one, especially with that left-hander. And we see Ava bowl a third over here. So trying to get one of these 2 batters out is key to keeping that total down as much as possible.
Again, just looking at that left leg of Amy Hunter there, just maybe too far down the leg side. Just losing her balance a little bit there in terms of playing the shot, looking to cut, just moving a little bit to the leg side. Better lines here from Eva Canning, just taking it up a little bit. Possibly Amy Hunter getting a little bit frustrated there. You just see her skipper coming down. Have a quick chat with her. Very important that the captain just does have a chat. It's not all about field placings and bowling changes. Sometimes your captain, especially if they're out there, just has a quick chat with her and settles her down a little bit. She's a very important player for the Dragons.
100%. Just there's been a couple of dot balls, so obviously you start feeling a little bit tense. There's a bit of pressure on you. Just taking your time, slowing things down. T20 cricket things happen very quickly. An appeal there from the Typhoons, just sliding down leg side, I feel. As we spoke about, Ali, T20 cricket, things go very quickly. Dot balls, that's exactly what builds the pressure. So if there is a few dot balls, it's just about taking a moment, stepping aside, talking to your partner, just being clear in your game plan to try to get back on track and move forward and hopefully start rotating again.
Canning continues. A bit of hesitation, Leopold. A good clear call though. Sent Amy Hunter back straight away. Good clear call from the captain.
Yes, Laura Delaney, like we saw in the last over, came across. There's a big, massive gap in mid-wicket, so I'd be thinking, maybe get into off stump and just knock it into mid-wicket. Amy seems to like to favour the offside, which is a strength of hers. But I think with this field, especially with the ball angling in as it is, I think getting onto off stump and knocking into mid-wicket can definitely help them rotate that bit better.
That'll be a good option. But a good over from Eva Canning, nothing coming from it. And the Typhoons have come back really well from those first 3 overs. We've only got 1 left in the power play now. And we've moved on to 27 for 2.
Yeah, it's great to see Freya bowl her third here. She's bowled really well today. 1 for 9 off 2 overs. Hasn't really bowled many bad balls. So hopefully she can do the same again here today. I'd love to see her slipping, definitely for the left-hander and Leopold, a big wicket for the Dragons. And I think they could possibly take out a cover or a backward point and stick one in, and be really attacking and try to get the Dragons 3 down. Reverse sweep there by Leopold. It's definitely a shot she plays quite a lot. So it's good to see her try and put Freya under pressure from the first ball of the over. Just drops short of the field, another reverse sweep, which goes for 4. Great shot from Leopold. Great to see her back in her strengths and missing the first one, but playing the second one and executing really well there from Leopold.
Yeah, I think it just dropped short of the fielder there. And with the shot that she's playing, a lot of spin on the ball. Yeah, it's one of those tough ones whether to go for it or just field the ball. To be fair, go for it. Try and take the catch. It's important, as you said, Shane, about taking wickets. So she's gone for the catch. It's just dropped short of her, I think, and then the spin has taken it away for 4.
Bit of width there from Freya Sargent. Should have got away with that one. It's quite wide. Leopold probably should have put that to the boundary, but just picked out the fielder. Yeah, we've got mid on and mid off up with a short straight boundary, but we see Leopold backing her shot square of the wicket. Be interesting to see how she goes for the rest of this over. Great shot down the ground. Well fielded from Sinead. Really good fielding. Full toss again. Probably another one you'd be looking to the boundary.
Yeah, just that change of with the two reverse sweeps in the early in the order. She's created a little bit of change from the bowler. Dropped one short, and then full toss. So it's just put her off her length a little bit. So a good option from Leopold there.
Yeah, great to put the bowler under pressure as well as Freya's bowled. I think the better the bowler, the more pressure you've got to put them under. Well bowled there from Freya. Nice tight line. Top of the stumps, hard to rotate. Yeah, as we spoke about, yeah, just putting. I found the better the bowlers, you want to really put them under pressure, and you do that by sticking to your strengths. And as we've seen, the reverse sweep is definitely one of Leah's stronger shots. Slightly wide there from Freya Sargent. Just one run from Amy Hunter.
Yeah, maybe a little bit disappointed again there, Amy. Just again came off the shot there, but she gets the single. And at the end of the power play, 6 overs gone. The Dragons have moved on to 33-4-2. Just a quick question here. Well, obviously at the Evoke Super Series, but yourself, Shane, on Thursday, you were standing skipper for Andy, who was away for the Northwest Warriors. Fantastic win for you against the Knights, and you were there at the end. So really good win for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was a great win. It was a close game, go down to the wire. Thought both teams played pretty well. I suppose the Knights would have liked maybe 20 or 30 more, but I thought with the ball we dragged it back really nicely. We maybe missed our lengths early on, and obviously Ross played the way he does, really positively. Had played plenty of sixes and plenty of boundaries, put away the bad bowling, but I thought we brought it back really nicely. Keane Robinson in particular didn't get many wickets, but bowled really accurately. And then, yeah, Stephen Donny was great with the bat. Willie McClintock, quick 30 at the end there, really took the pressure off when we were chasing maybe 7 or 8 and over. So, yeah, great to get over the line and get another win for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was a really great game to be at, and that series will be back in August. You can follow it all on ICC TV when we're back in August. The men move to T20 mode now, which is what the girls have been playing up to now in this Evoke Super Series. Couple of games left, so a change of bowling. It's going to be Louise Little from the Willows End. Oh wow,
great delivery there from Louise Little. First up, bit of bounce, just taking the glove from Amy Hunter, I think maybe. Just a really good start there from Louise. I was impressed by her down in Lisbon. She really hit the bat hard, and she looks to have run them pretty hard there and got a big wicket of Amy Hunter. And she's parts for 15 off 19 deliveries.
Well, that was a serious delivery. First up, I could just hear the oohs and ahs around me here. Took the bat through to the keeper. Mary Waldron's taking that up high to her left. It's right, sorry, and that's a terrific delivery first up from Louise Little. There we see it. Oh, and that has really bounced, taking the glove. And a picture perfect wicket for Lou Little. First up.
Yeah, I think just looking at the replay there, a little bit unlucky. It wasn't that short, a little bit back of a length, but it has maybe bounced a lot more than Amy would have liked. Maybe a cross-seam delivery from Louise first up, and that just extracted a little bit of bounce, and really good catch there by Mary Waldron.
Yeah, I think she's a little bit unlucky to actually get something on that, because it really took off. And she's, as you say, a little bit unlucky to get something on, and it's carried well through to Mary Waldron. So out to the crease for the Dragons. Another international, Arlene Kelly. They really need to settle in now, the Dragons.
Yeah, it's always nice to get a wicket in your first ball, even your first over. I think just kind of gets the confidence up and gives you that bit of clarity to know that hopefully you're going to have a good day. As we know as cricketers, you're not always going to have a good day. There's a lot of failure in there, but I think to start your day with a wicket first delivery is always nice.
That's a big chase with a wicket keeper. She gets there. Always 100% there, Mary Waldron. Chases all the way down from her keeping position. Pull it in. 2 runs to the total.
Yeah, great work there by Mary just after taking a catch. Next ball running down to fine leg. So she's definitely in the mix of things. I suppose you're always a keeper, in T20 cricket. You can make an impact in the game every delivery. So great work there by Mary. A lot of bounce there again from Louise. Seems to a little bit of shape back in as well. I think the batters, there's a lot of steep bounce there. Maybe sitting deep in the crease may be a good option, instead of maybe coming down at it and sitting deep, letting the ball bounce a bit, and maybe going square the wicket could be a good option. Yeah, going soft hands and maybe looking to rotate as best they can.
Yeah, there's a gap at square legs, so you possibly could be on to something there because there's a lot of bounce.
Well ball there from Louise Little. She's really hit her straps here. Hasn't gone for a run yet. She's got a wicket with the first delivery. As I said, really impressed by her in Wallace Park a few weeks ago. She ran and hit the bat hard, and obviously we all know what she can offer with the bat. So as an all-rounder, really exciting talent moving forward for Irish cricket. More bounce there from Louise Little. I'd love to see her slipping. She seems to be, in really good rhythm here. I'd love to see a slip or a gully in and really, try to get the Dragons forward down here. Arlene Kelly, another experienced player. I think if they can go bang bang here, the Typhoons will be in a great place and hopefully keep the Dragons down below a total of 100, 110 possibly.
It's been a really good start from Louise Little. Last ball of the over. Again, bounce. It's the only run off the over, so 1 off that last ball. What a start from Louise Little. Absolutely fantastic to see her running in. As you say, she had a few problems in the last sort of 12 months in terms of her bowling, but she seems to be back to her best here, and that first over would show. I mean, she was very impressive, as you said, at Lisburn when we last saw her and throughout the series. Just good to see her getting back into a rhythm. No,
100%. Obviously has had a lot of injuries over the years, so it's great to see all that hard work and that really pay off. I suppose as a player, when you're injured, you can quickly get down in the dumps and see your mates playing a lot of cricket, and it's hard to be on the sidelines, but it's great to see her back playing and doing well with both the bat and ball and getting a wicket in her first over. So great signs from Louise.
Yeah, and just looking at the Typhoons particularly, they've got 3 or 4 seam bowlers up front, all very similar, right arm. They've got good actions, repeatable sort of actions that are, we've got Georgina Dempsey, Alice Tector and Louise Little, all very similar, right arm, and a good partnership between them. They're all probably pushing each other to do well in the team. Yeah, no,
100%. And whilst they're all right arm, we've also got Sinead Thompson with, got that angle as a left arm seamer. They're all, I suppose, you look at Louise, gets that extra bounce, and Ava looks to swing the ball in, and Laura Delaney's going to run in and just look to all stump to stump, keep things quite simple.
Interesting to see what the umpire says here. Look quite straight. Checking out the umpire, he's given leg buys. We'll just take a look at it again here.
Yeah, great start from Laura on the money from ball 1. I think it's always really important to start your over well. A little bit of sideways movement, probably outside the line a little bit too high. But great start from Laura, really setting the standards as captain. Just wide delivery there. Just got a wrist slightly the wrong side of it. Just pushed it a little bit down leg. I think Mary Walden's great to have up to the stumps. I think as a batter, that's the last thing you want. You can't use your feet. You're stuck in the crease a little bit, so it definitely brings in a few more modes of dismissals. And Laura, as we said, she likes to hit the stumps. She likes to bowl stump to stump, so really brings LBW and bowled into play.
Yeah, I'm sure behind the stumps there, Mary will be having a bit of a chat with both Arlene and Leah, and when they're on strike, I'm sure she's not too behind the doors and having a chat with her international colleagues.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of banter going around there. They all know each other really well, so they're all quite competitive, and I'm sure a few words will be spoken in between each delivery. Use of feet there from Arlene Kelly. A good option with Madonna mid-off. Probably looking to go downtown, and that's probably one of her strengths. Just trying to put Laura off her length. She's been brilliant so far in these first 3 deliveries, on the money. Not giving any loose deliveries, and really applying that pressure from the power play and continuing it through these middle overs.
We're just going to possibly drop it on back for this last part of the over. Been a good start from Laura Delaney.
Really good there from Laura Delaney again. Nice hard length. Just shows you, the ball before use of the feet from Arlene Kelly didn't get a run, but that caused a change of field. Just giving Laura something to think about. Another change of field here. I think that's smart cricket from Laura. There's 2 deliveries to go. There's been 4 dots so far, so 1 wide in there. Just try to get at her over now and hopefully go for a single or 2. Really well bowled again from Laura Delaney, and good cricket from the Dragons. Good running. Really good cricket there, seeing the cover sweeper go back, knocking in the gap and getting a nice single.
Yeah, that is good, because the pressure is just starting to mount a little bit on the Dragons, but they're still okay. When we looked at those earlier games, the run rate's still okay, going about 5, and they can always pick that up later on. What they can't afford to do now is get stuck and then lose wickets, because then they're in real trouble. So lots of field movements here for the left-hander. Lots of blue shirts running around the field.
No, 100%. I think just keeping wickets is key now. Just trying to go at 4, 5, 6 and over the next 5 or 6. And as we said, it's quite a small ground straight. Maybe get 50 or 60 in those last 5 or 6 overs and get up the total. I think they will need 130, 140. It's a good wicket. Well bowled there from Lord Delaney. And well fielded. So good start to her spell. Just 2 off it, 1 wide and 1 single. Look to hit her straps, hit a good length, and keep things really simple, hitting the top of the stumps, as we spoke about throughout the T20 tournament. No width is key. So as we see the scorecard there, Bella Armstrong fell for 10. Amy Hunter started really nicely, and Cara Murray was unlucky not to make use of her opportunity to go up the order. Just came across one and got caught at cover. Really good catch. So hopefully Leah Pornow and Arlene Kelly can, as we spoke about, Ali, just trying to rebuild for the next 5 or 6 overs and keep wickets in hand as we see Louise Little get a second. As I said, I'd love to see a slip in. I don't know about you, but I'd really love to see a slip or a gully in to continue to take wickets.
Yeah, again, it's something we sort of stick to tradition a wee bit. It's up to the 8th over. And then Kelly goes after that, and it's just beaten Robin Searle. And coming back for the second, it's a good throw. I think she just gets home. Yeah, Paul, all action there. Bit of a laugh when she gets down there. She stumbles over the line and gets back for 2.
A good shot there from Arlene Kelly. Just a little bit fuller from Louise. I think that's good cricket. Mid on, mid off is up. Anything that's full of a length should be looking, and if it's in that slot, looking to make use of that. And I think it's a really positive shot if those 2 are up. As a coach, if you get caught mid on, mid off, and they're in the ring, and the ball's in your area, as a coach, I'm sure James Cameron Dale would be absolutely fine with that. You've got to take the game on if the bowlers do miss their target.
You were just mentioning about the slip, though. As I was saying, it sort of becomes just a formulaic move to say, let's get to a few overs, we'll stick a slip in at the start, and then once we get to 7 or 8, we've got to take them out. But to keep the pressure on, if the ball goes through there, taking wickets is key now.
Short and wide there, great shot from Arlene Kelly, making use of the width. Gone through the covers for, it looks like it'll be 2. Just 2 for Arlene Kelly. She'll be disappointed with that. Slowed up a bit in the outfield.
Yeah, quite surprisingly there actually. It looked as if she's got a good piece of that. A good shot from her actually, getting up on her toes and able to control the bounce. We've seen the bounce in the last over. Arlene Kelly was really up on her toes there and able to play it down into the offside. So good shot. A little bit of width though. That was the problem there.
Just a shot over point. Will it go for 4? Just be held up again. Sliced over back of point. Good from Arlene Kelly. She's putting the pressure back on Louise Little. Louise has been a little bit off her length these last 2 or 3 deliveries. Just shows you one shot down the ground. Let's put a little bit of pressure on Louise, and she's missed her length. As we spoke about, a little bit short and wide, and there a little bit full and wide. So hopefully Arlene can continue this, moving to the last 3 deliveries.
Yeah, as we said in the first over, she was just bowling length, but it's just been changed up a little bit here.
Well bowled from Louise. Really good length there. I never like to see her leave in T20 cricket, Ellie, if I'm being honest. But yeah, these things happen. I'd love to see a first slip from the Typhoons. I think Mary might be thinking about bringing someone in. She's just moving cover slightly to her right. 2 deliveries to go. Hopefully Louise can continue to finish this over really well. Well ball from Louise, really good, nice and tight, top of middle stump, forcing Arlene to hit down the ground. Really good delivery there. Whilst this over started really well for Arlene, last 2 deliveries, dot balls are key, as we speak about so often. Dot balls, force the batters to do silly things. So
I said she's come back really well in this over. Seen that Arlene Kelly was coming at her in those first 2 balls, but she's responded really well and gone back to her lines and lengths.
Great finish to the over. 3 dots from Louise. Didn't start the over too well. Missed her length a little bit, but great finish to the over there. Every ball is key in T20 cricket, I suppose. That brings the end of the 9th, 46 for 3. The Dragons are, and we see Laura Delaney have a second over. Should be looking to just go again, stump to stump. Just looking at the bowling figures. Ava Canning 3 overs, 1 for 17. Freya Sargent doing a really good job, 1 for 15 or for 3. As we spoke about, Louise Little, just extracting that bit of bounce from the wicket. Really good delivery to Amy Hunter. She would have felt a little bit unlucky, but she's hit the pitch hard. She's got the most out of the wicket so far. And then we see Laura Delaney, just 2 off her first over, just bowling that stump to stump, keep things nice and simple.
I was just about to say those very words, Shane, that you said in the last over that Laura bowled. She just keeps it nice and simple, doesn't try and do too much too often. Just I'll bowl stump to stump. If you want to take a chance, more than welcome, but it'll be a risk.
Leah just missed out there, but a width, put in with an off a point and third her up in the ring. She would have liked to maybe pierce that gap and get a boundary. Laura's just missed her length and missed her line a little bit there. Just with the angles, just coming around the wicket, you want to be going into middle leg ideally as a bowler. Great shot there by Leopold, just for 1. As we see deep in wicket out on the boundary. It's great to see the Dragons batters a little bit more busy in the last over or 2. They can just continue that momentum now, going into the last 10, and then breaking it down into the last 4, keeping those wickets in hand. I think that's really key for these 2.
Yeah, good captaincy from Laura Delaney as well. That's Leopold's shot there into that mid-wicket region. She had 2 on the boundary. Louise Little was out there, kept it down to 1. Just sorting the field out here. A little bit of change of personnel rather than fielding positions. So just changing the personnel, and again sending out sort of point out to the boundary. So Laura Delaney to continue.
Really well bowled from Laura Delaney. Top of off stump, top of middle stump. Taking Arlene's hands away, free her arms there. Really good length. Laura's bowling over the last 12 to 18 months has really improved. She seems to be able to bowl to her feet, be really in control of what she's trying to do. Just from the outset, it seems really clear on her plans. So that's obviously great to see from the Irish captain.
Yeah, and I think just those games in the World Cup really brought her on in terms of her captaincy and her field positioning. just watching the bigger teams and more experienced sort of captains in action, and I think she's really learnt a lot, both on the field and off the field, from that experience, and has brought that into the Typhoons Super Series.
Great shot down the ground from Eileen Kelly, and great fielding. Really good fielding. Just saving it to 1. So 3 runs saved there. Top work. Great work from Eileen Kelly. She would be a little bit disappointed that didn't go to the boundary, but like to see that positive approach. Yeah, just as you spoke about, Ali, just watching her in the World Cup and captaining Ireland under pressure all the time, I'm sure you learn as a captain game by game. The learnings you take playing under those pressures, playing on TV in front of a lot of people, that kind of responsibility you take and that leadership has really helped her grow as a cricketer. So it's definitely great to see her continue that in this comp. Really well played from Leah as they look for 2. It'll just be 1. Really well bowled there from Lord Delaney, just going into the leg stump. And that's the end of the 10th over. The Dragons are 49 for 3.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there about it's not just about the cricket you play in the World Cups and learning the sort of technique and things like that. It's sort of the other things that you learn about field positioning and just dealing with players over a long period of time. You're away for 3 or 4 weeks and learning their characters and things like that. And I think the girls have really come on, both the under-19s at their World Cup, but also the senior women's team as well.
Yeah, it was great to see the 2 World Cups quite closely together, and just coaching some of the women's and the girls during the winter. There's definitely there's a carrot there. There's plenty of tours coming up, like they're going to the West Indies and Australia coming over. So as a young cricketer these days, there's plenty to look forward to, and that hard work. If you do put in the hard yards and you perform for your clubs and then you perform in series like this, those opportunities will come to you as a player. So no, there's definitely plenty exciting times ahead.
Yeah, just in a little break here at the moment. We're going to have a change of bowling, replacing Louise Little, who, as we said, bowled really well, certainly in her first over. Got her wicket. She's going to be replaced by Alice Tector, 15 years of age. She's broken into the Typhoons outfit this year, and at such a young age, it's great to see the other girls encouraging her and really giving her opportunity here at this level.
It'll be interesting seeing if Alice, which is with her height, if she gets a bit of bounce here like Louise did, bowling to Leah Paul. She'll be looking to start from ball 1 here, hit her straps hard and hit that pitch hard like Louise did, and hopefully get that bounce, get that bit of extra bounce and make it hard for the batters to drive down the ground.
I think a little bit of time to set the field here. I want to get it right. Let's see, bowling to the left-hander to start with. Taking a wee bit of time, but we're all set now on Alice Tector to bowl her first delivery. Full on the off stump and driven out to the boundary rider for just a single. So just to see the last few weeks, terrific to see Cricket Ireland signing up a partnership with DMG Media for women's cricket in Ireland. DMG Media, of course, the parent company of the sponsor of the T20 series, Evoke. I'll just come back to that in a second as we see Alice Tector coming in again. That's well bowled. Yeah, the Evoke Super Series and the Evoke website, one of the most popular websites in Ireland, a female-focused website looking at all things business, fashion, finance and sport. And with DMG Media now linked up with Cricket Ireland, the Evoke website will be promoting the Super Series and developing the profiles and stories for players throughout this competition in the summer. So terrific to have DMG Media and Evoke to lift the profile of women's cricket in Ireland.
Seems that Alice is getting a bit of swing here. I think she's just been maybe a fraction floaty. If she can use that swing, but still hit the pitch hard. I think that's going to be a little bit harder for Arlene to rotate and score.
Same sort of delivery, wide of the off stump. And just as you say, she possibly looking at Louise Little, just a little bit quicker through the air, and when she was hitting the pitch, it clearly worked for her because it lifted. Alice just at the minute maybe bowling a little bit within herself.
Yeah, sometimes when you try and swing it, you almost put it there, don't you? You don't hit that pitch. I think that's just the case here for Alice in her first couple deliveries.
That's a good shot. Slightly over pitched. Morning Kelly on it, and she's driven it straight past the bowler and between the bowler and mid-off. And a welcome boundary for the Dragons. That will release the pressure a little bit.
Yeah, really good shot from Arlene Kelly down the ground. The chance there from Alice Tector was hit pretty firmly from Arlene. She's looked at her best, I think, when she's looked down the ground, and looked to go through the line of the ball, and hopefully she can continue that now in the last 10 overs.
Squirted off the sort of outside edge there. Laura Delaney out on the boundary, keeps it down to 1. That will bring us to the end of the 11th, and nice easy maths equation for me there. 55 for 3 from 11, so we're going along at exactly 5 and over.
Yeah, these two batters, I think they've been in for a while now. I think they should know the conditions well, so just having a clear plan moving forward into the last 9. Personally, I'd be thinking, if these two can continue for the next 5 overs, get up to the 16th over, and then look to really, maybe go to 7, 8, 9 and over and keep those wickets in hand. That is going to be really key. But I think these next 5 overs are key. They really need to, get a minimum of 6 and over. Try to get up to that 80, 90 mark, and then, as we spoke about, trying to get 120, 130 is going to be key in this ground. It's a good wicket, and the boundaries are quite small.
Yeah, and it's about now 11 overs where you're starting to think about what's a good score. You've been in for a while. You've had a look at the pitch. First up, it's always difficult to work out what's a good score and how quickly should we go, when should we go and target a bigger score. But being in for quite a while, these two inexperienced players, they probably should be able to work this out now as to what would be a good score and what the Dragons really need.
As we see Georgia Atkinson coming into the attack here to bowl some leg spin. Be interesting to see if she gets any turn from this end. Freya Sargent did a great job early on, as Georgia looks to probably take the pace off the ball here.
Yeah, plenty of air there. First up, and then Kelly straight away, looking to use her feet, come down the wicket. And as you said, she can try and play straight, where she's looked quite confident. Two out there, well hit. That time was short. Good batting from Arlene Kelly, able to drop back into her crease. And the pull shot, maybe a little bit disappointed she didn't pick up the gap and get a boundary. But does rotate it down now to get Leah Paul back on strike. And as we've talked about already, very important that they keep ticking over the 1s and 2s. And then the odd boundary thrown in as well to keep that run rate going up.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think Leah Paul might fancy the ball turning into a bat. She likes to slug sweep a lot and go to that mid-wicket boundary. As we see a good stop there from Georgia. Seems to have got away with the last 2 deliveries. I think with mid-on, mid-off up, anything full of length, I think these two batters really need to be looking to go downtown and make use of these small boundaries.
Very floated delivery from George Aston. Sort of saw Leah Paul coming. She sort of left it early there, but she was able to adjust and push it for. I think she was, as you say, she was possibly going to try and hit that over the top of the bowler and come straight down the ground here, but adjusted well. Got a single. Again, looking to come forward. So you have to say well bowled there. Just two minds there of the which to play it off the front foot or drop back. So she's done quite well in this. Only 2 from the first 5. That'll be in the gap. She's got plenty on that. Full toss in the end. She got to the pitch of the ball, made it into a full toss and got plenty on it. And that's how an over can change. Just 2 coming from the first 5, but a boundary off the last means they get 6 off the over, and they'll take that in the next 4 or 5.
Yeah, George will be disappointed with that last delivery, full toss. Great shot from Arlene Kelly. It's always disappointing, I suppose, as a bowler to end your over. You always talk about the first and the last delivery, trying to get a dot or a single and restrict those boundaries. So I'm sure George will be a little bit upset with how she ended that last over.
Yeah, just talking about that, Shane, obviously well experienced then in the men's game. Do you talk about that as a captain to your bowlers? I mean, you bowled yourself, obviously, first and last ball. Obviously, the batters talk a lot about it, but they're going to target first ball. But the converse has to be looked at from bowler's point of view.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think if you start your over well, it kind of sets you up for the rest of the over. And great shot there from Leah Paul, and good fielding, really good fielding. Alice has just missed her line there a little bit, just going down leg side. I suppose it's really hard with the right and left hand. Sometimes you've got to adjust your line. But as we spoke about, first and last delivery, if you can restrict those boundaries and start your over well. And if you do feel under pressure, and that last delivery, just getting the batter off strike, bowling that hip ball, bowling a ball slightly wide and finishing your over well is definitely key.
Yeah, nice shot again. Maureen Kelly picks out. Roman Searle mid off this time, can't get it in the gap. But she seems to be, again, as we've talked about, confident going down the ground. And that's a good option on this ground. It's quite long to the side boundaries. Square. They've actually just straightened up long on there. And Alice Teckler is bowling quite full here. She's just drifted down leg side there. I'm not sure she got any bat on that. We'll just keep an eye on George Brawley, our umpire. Well, he seems to think she did, so bit of a bonus run there for Arlene Kelly.
Yeah, take it as a batter. I normally just stick the bat up, even though sometimes if it hits you on the pad, you try and convince the umpire you've got a little inside edge on it. Every run counts, I suppose, throughout the season. As Alice Texter comes in again here.
That's okay, just dropped into the leg side. Good running. Take the single this time. George Brawley gives the leg by single, so Leopold doesn't pick up a run there, but it's 1 extra to the total. And just ticking over here at the minute, the Dragons, just in these middle overs, just ticking towards the 15th, 16th. As we say, maybe assessing then as to when to be put the foot down. Again, a lovely shot from Arlene Kelly. A little bit in 2 minds maybe to lift that. You can see her just practicing the shot there. She's hitting a clean ball down the ground.
Yeah, she seems to have picked out the fielders quite a bit, unluckily for her this innings. So hopefully, going into the back of her innings, she can hopefully find a few more gaps, because she has looked to be hitting the ball really strongly down the ground and finding that middle.
And again, as she got enough on it, she just lifts it over. Roman Searle again at mid-off. Just got enough on that. That would hurt in the mouth time there. But all's well that ends well. Goes for a boundary. And again, a decent over for the Dragons.
Yeah, great shot there for Arlene Kelly over mid-off, as we spoke about. That's a pretty safe shot in my book if mid-off's up in the ring. Unluckily for Alice to finish with the over with the boundary. It was a really good over up to then. I suppose just a little bit of width there for the batter, allowing her to free her arms. As we see another change of bowling, and Freya Sargent comes back into the attack. First 3 overs are really good. She'll be looking to do pretty much the same again, keep things nice and simple, and hopefully keep them to 3, 4, 5 and over, and restrict those boundaries.
Yeah, what do you think about that change, Shane? Because obviously George Jackson only had one over, and it was only that last ball, I suppose, that be a little bit disappointed, but to be taken off after 1 over and bring Freya Sargent's only got 1 left, so a change from Laura Delaney, but we'll see how it goes. Immediately again, the reverse sweep comes out from Leopold. Doesn't get enough bat on it this time. There's two fielders in position there. Mary Waldron, you can see her on screen there. It's just gone off screen and she's moving them about, trying to get them good angles. I'm sure Leopold won't put that shot away. That's a good shot. Cleanly hit into the offside. Will only be one. A good clean shot there. Good balance that time from Leopold.
Yeah, great shot there from Leah, hitting the sweepers hard. I like that from her first ball there over, trying to take that positive option, and then that gives you that ball to rotate, puts that ball under pressure. And I think Arlene will be looking to possibly go over mid-off here if she gets any width, and go downtown.
Yeah, you got it. She kind of just yorked herself a little bit. She was looking to go down the ground, but just got a little bit close to it. Still gets a single though.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a slight shift of momentum. Whilst there hasn't been too many big overs of those 10, 15 run overs as we talk about, but there's definitely been a few boundaries, and these two look to be really.
There's that reverse again, and she's got it in the gap this time. It's running away to the boundary, and it's going to make it. Some good option from Leopold. As I said, I didn't think she would put that shot away, despite the two fielders being there. And she's picked the gap.
Yeah, great shot there from Leah. I'd like to see maybe a cover sweeper boundary fielder just come a little bit square maybe, or Freya maybe take a little bit of pace off the ball. I think that'll make it a little bit harder for Leah to really find that gap and execute that reverse. She's done so well on 2 occasions today already.
Yeah, well bowled. But again, we talked about the singles were important, but add in the boundary, and I think we had a boundary in each of the last 3 overs, and that's just increasing the run rate a little bit for the Dragons and setting them up as we move into the latter part of this innings where they can go hard. It'll be a nice easy single. Down to George Atkinson, who's at long on. Finishes the over, and indeed finishes Freya Sargent's spell. None for 22. Good set from Freya Sargent. Sorry, 1 for 22 there. There they are on screen. She's got her wicket. 22 runs and bowling in the power play. Our skipper Lerald Denny be really happy with that return from her off spinner.
Yeah, exactly. Bowling at the toughest times, I suppose. 3 overs in the power play and then just 1 over there. And I suppose all her boundaries came from that, that risk from Leopold, forcing the reverse sweep behind back at a point. Not too many bad balls there from Freya, so she'll be happy with her outing so far. As we see a change of bowling, I think it's Louise Little coming back onto bowl. Hopefully she can. I think this is really good from Lord Delaney. Hopefully they can, break this partnership before they go into the back end of the innings. Get a new batter in and hopefully squeeze some dots, because these two seem to be, be going in the right direction and batting really well recently. So
yeah, I think that's the call here. Sort of possibly you would have been looking for Louise Little, to bowl, 17 and 19 possibly, but with these two starting to get set now, they've been in for quite a long time now. They're looking set. You don't want them to be still around in those last 4, because that could really give momentum to the Dragons. So they're bringing Louise Little back here to try and break this partnership. Oh, nicked. It's a clean nick. That's going to go on down to the boundary just in front of us here. Regulation nick. There's your slip, Shane. There's your slip.
Yeah, as I spoke about, I suppose you probably wouldn't have a slipper now in the 15th over, but a little bit unlucky there from Louise. But Leopold will take them how they come. 4 in the book. Nice to start the over with a nice boundary, but a really good length there for Louise. I think she'll be looking to do more of the same now for the remainder of this over.
Yeah, it was really good delivery, just pushing it across. Leopold played slightly inside the line. I always say, don't have too many fielders in those positions at this time of the innings. Big gap on that leg side. So an easy single. And again, a boundary in the over already. So we've had boundaries in each of the last 3 or 4 overs, which just creates that momentum you're looking for as a batting side. And you keep going like this, you could be looking at the sort of 130 area.
Yeah, as we spoke about, trying to get to that 90 mark, 90-95 off the 16, and then leaving wickets in hand can hopefully help them get that 8, 9, 10 and over on the last ball and set up that 130 total. One of these two will definitely looking to get a 40, 50 plus score for their team.
It's beautifully bowled, really good length. As we mentioned just in the last over, Arlene Kelly was happy to go down the ground, but that ball's just that 6 inches shorter, and with that extra little bounce, the drive's not so easy.
100%. I think the bounce she's got today has been brilliant, so she can afford to go that little bit fuller. If she's going a little bit short, it might sit up a bit, but another good length there.
Driven again, although they've got mid off back now. They're coming back for 2. That's good running. Yeah, Paul hustling. And we talked about that at the start of the campaign. A few demons for the Dragons and their running, but that was good running. They pick up the extra one, and again, just that extra little bit of momentum. Turning 1s into 2s and picking up the boundaries. There's fielder out. Oh, and it's misfielded. Will it go for 4? She's dragged it back. So there's a little bit of the blushes there out there for Sargent. Just a little bit of a misfield. Those things add up. So again, a decent shot there from Arlene Kelly, and it turns the 1 into 2. And that brings up the 50 partnership between these two. See on screen there, and it's coming decent time, Shane. 52 balls for a 50 partnership in just 37 minutes.
Yeah, really good partnership on these two. They've been, they've, as we spoke about in that power play, trying to rebuild and set it up for the back innings. So partnerships are key, and even though it's a T20 game, slightly shorter version, partnerships are key. And a great catch there from Alice Tector, her second catch of the day. She's definitely in the game today with both batting in the field, and that's a massive wicket for the Typhoons going to the back innings of this innings.
Yeah, she'll be a little bit disappointed possibly there, Arlene Kelly. Just couldn't get on top of that. And came off slightly off the edge. And again, another good catch from Alice Tector. Good positioning. A really good breakthrough. We just talked about the 50 partnership going into the latter stages of the innings. And a good catch. Alice Tector a second. Just playing a little bit uppish as we see there. And again, good technique from the fielder, getting in a good position, getting her hands in a good position to take the ball in front of her. So a good catch and a good wicket for the Typhoons.
Yeah, really good wicket there. That's a massive wicket. Arlene was, did all the hard yards and got some boundaries away, and there was a bit of a momentum shift for the Dragons of the last few overs, but a massive wicket there for the Typhoons. Brings a new batter to the crease, and they'll be looking to squeeze as much as possible now, as we see Georgia Atkinson come back on to take the pace off. Could be a really good option, I think, especially against a new batter. There's nothing more you want as a new batter is a bit of pace on the ball, so could be a really good option for the Typhoons.
Absolutely. It's possibly, as you said in the last over, possibly the leg spinner bowling to the left hander maybe. She is on strike at the minute, but with the new batter in, and it's Alana Dalzell who's come in. Could be a good option here. Loads of space on the leg side here. So basically given 1 to Leah Paul off the first ball of the over. There is that one. Rhea Sargent comes in. So now Alana Dalzell will face up from the northwest, of course. She had a great game last time out for the Dragons. Picked up a Player of the Match award for her all-round performance. Saw the Dragons home that day. So she'll be looking for another little cameo at the end here with her captain. If she can produce that, say, the Dragons could be posting a decent score here.
Yeah, Alana will be full of confidence, I'm sure, from her player of the match performance. Winning the game for your team always gives you a lot of confidence, and winning it for your teammates. So I'm sure, being a local here from the northwest, she'll know conditions well. She'll you have a clear game plan. Sorry, moving into these back 5 overs, just giving yourself a good chance in the first couple of balls to rotate well. And
very floated delivery there, very slow from George Atkinson on land. Alzel plenty of time to think about the shot. Down legs and again giving us wide.
good running there by the Dragons batters. I think run a ball is a minimum now going to these back 5. Run a ball and then get your 1 or 2 boundaries and over would be key. I think moving into the end of this innings, I think Leah Paul's possibly got to look to target the leg side here, and maybe a slug sweep into the gap would be a really good option.
There's the call. Right on it. She doesn't get enough on it though, and I think her Irish teammate and captain of the Typhoons, Laura Delaney, is well aware of that favourite stroke. Leah Paul, she's got 3 fielders on that leg side. It's tough to find a gap there. Possibly the Typhoons happy with 1. Definitely in 2 minds there. Alana, not too sure. It's plenty of air. Do I come down? Mid off and mid on or up, but you facing your 2nd or 3rd ball, it's difficult to go downtown straight away.
I suppose it's just about being a little bit brave. I suppose mid on, mid off up in the 16th over. Take a risk.
She's got that in the gap. Robin Searle's coming around on the boundary, makes it. Good speed around to the ball, keeps it down to 1. Yeah, just singles so far in the over, plus the extra. It's still okay. Still okay for the Dragons. I'm going to be looking to just 4 overs to come at the end of this delivery.
Really well bowled there from George Atkinson. Saw Leah Paul coming down the wicket and just took her arms away, fired her into her pads. And should be a bit more pleased with finishing that over. Over previously, ended with the boundary on her last ball. So well done there from Georgia. Really, really good work.
Yeah, just looking at the scorecard, a good start. The Dragons from Armstrong and Hunter, dragged back by the Typhoons though with those 3 quick wickets. But then a good partnership from Captain Leah Paul and Arlene Kelly. It's just been broken. That 50 partnership at a very good time. There we can see them, 51 they put on. And that would have been key to keep them together as we move into these last 4 overs. But Leah Paul's still there. And we've got 4 overs to go. If we go at that elusive 10 and over, we get them up to 129, and that will be a good score, I think. So that's, I think, what they've got to target. Maybe 1 boundary per over, and keep that ticking over.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think 130 be a really good total. At the moment, I think they're looking at maybe 120, 125. But if they can, have a couple big overs, that 130, 135 could be on the cards. Just an edge there from Alana Dazil, just for 1. We actually see a lot of runs down that area today. Just a little bit more bounce from this end from all the bowlers, and a lot of runs going behind square. So I think the Dragons, as a captain, as Leah Paul, spent a lot of time out there. I think if she can learn from the Typhoons in the field and what lengths have worked well, what areas of the ground to maybe cover. If they do get 120, 125, it can be really beneficial from learning from the Typhoons.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. Again, we talked earlier on about Laura Delaney learning as Irish captain, but that's the purpose of this Super Series, both the the 50 and the T20 here. Leah Paul's captain of the Dragons. She's out there at the minute. She should be assessing conditions and looking at them. And I think they've definitely picked up on that quite a lot during the last few years. The girls assessing conditions while you're out there, and then implement them in the 2nd innings. Got the neck. Great effort from Mary Wooler. Was to her right. She may be a little bit disappointed. She throws her head back there. She's got a good hand on it. And probably once she did that, she'll be disappointed. It was a great effort. It went quickly. As I say, once she got a good hand on it, she'd be disappointed she didn't cling on.
Just a bit of extra bounce there again from Louise. Thought she's been probably the pick of the bowlers today. Great effort from Mary. It's gone quite quickly to her right. She'll be disappointed not to take that one, but yeah, as we said again, Louise has been brilliant today. She's hit the deck really hard, and she's, I suppose, hit that length that's been a bit hard to hit down the ground as she comes into the back end here of her over.
Two fielders out there. Again, that's that pull shot from Leah Paul. She's looking for the boundary option out there, but again, Delaney has got two fielders out there, and he managed it. He was well into the gap at time. The fielders are quick enough to get round there. Keep it to 2. That's okay. Leah Paul, she just wants to get that strike rate over 100 now. Pick up the odd boundary. Again, under edge this time. It's racing away, and she's got enough on it. And there is the boundary in the over. We've talked about it. And probably a better option for her there actually to get an under edge rather than middle that one, because the field's set. And this time it does go to the boundary.
Yeah, it looked to be like a bit of a cutter there from Louise Little. Not sure she needed to bowl that, just with the amount of bounce she's got so far, and nicely dragged to the leg side from Leah. One of her strong shots. As she likes to favour that leg side boundary quite a lot. Just Louise will look to finish her spell here. Hopefully a dot or a single at best. Great shot there by Leah into the gap. Look for 2. Really well fielded. Those two have been brilliant on the boundary there today. Mid-wicket and cow corner have been busy. And a really good finisher as well there from Louise Little. She'll be really happy. 2 for 26 off of her 4 overs. And she probably, deserved another one. I don't know what you think, Ali, but I thought she bowled extremely well today.
Yeah, I thought she was excellent from that end. She really extracted the bounce at that end using the pitch. I mean, we've talked about it being a good wicket, but even from that very first ball that she bowled to Amy Hunter, a lot of bounce and put that into the head of the batter straight away, and she was on the money. And although she's only going for 26 runs for 2, I actually think she maybe bowled even a little bit better than that. That boundary just figures a little bit, ruined the figures a little bit, but excellent from Louise Little. And again, we talked about it. Great to see her back fit and running in.
Yeah, no, 100%. I thought she bowled extremely well. A lot of edges down to third and fine leg. So we take that off her figures. She would have done an even better job, as we see Laura Delaney come to the 18th over here and take the ball. I think as captain, sometimes you're reluctant to maybe bowl yourself, but it's great to see Laura. She's bowled 2 overs for 5 here. She's done a really good job. It's great to see her back into the attack.
Yeah, there's the option from Leah Paul. Again, Laura's well used to that and has got her fielders stationed. But that brings up the 100 for the Dragons. Just under 17 deliveries left here, so they've got the 100 up. And now the platform's set. What can they set in these last 17 deliveries?
It just seems that Leah, seems to really favour that leg side. I'd like to see maybe a wide Yorker, a wide slow ball, make her drag it from that wide line. Could be a good option, especially going back into these last 3 overs. A lot of her runs have come through mid-wicket, long on, square leg. Apart from those 2 reverse sweeps, I'd like to see her maybe Laura go a little bit wider the crease and make her really drag it to that leg side boundary.
But this is exactly what we're talking about women's cricket development, in that it's not just going up and bowling anymore. You've got to work out, if you're going to play at international level, you've got to work out good field positions and then bowl to that field, rather than I'll just bowl. And as you say, the skipper's come on now, she's well experienced. It's hit down the ground. A bit of work to do for Freya Sargent. She's done it very well. A good throw in from Laura Delaney. And just a single.
Yeah, really good fielding there from Freya. I think the Typhoons, out of the 3 teams I've seen, have probably been the best fielding unit overall. They've taken their catches, some really strong arms coming into Mary's gloves. There hasn't been too many twos. The batters have ran pretty well between the wickets. but I think the fielding has been really good. And it's
Yeah.
really backed up the bowlers today.
Hugely important in T20 cricket in particular. Well fielded again. Just very impressed with their speed around the ground. You know, not just in the ring but in the outfield. Good quick feet. You know, it just gives a good impression of intensity in the field.
And a wicket there for Lord Delaney. Use of the feet from Alana Dazelle. Great work from Mary Waldron. Pretty straightforward take by her, but good work from Laura. Alana Dazelle looking to use her feet and probably go downtown. She departs, and that's 5 down now for the Dragons as they go into the last 2 overs.
Yeah, well bowled from Laura Delaney. Probably worked out that Alana Dazelle was going to be coming at her. Just held it back. I think she actually thought that maybe she'd nicked that nicely because she was already celebrating before the ball had arrived at Mary Waldron. But yeah, good option. Just to hold that one back a little bit. And through to the keeper. And a fairly routine stomping for Mary Waldron. And the 5th wicket falls. Just trying to get that momentum back now. 102 on the board. Molly Devine has come in now to join her skipper. I suppose you're looking now at the very minimum. Molly Devine's got to give Leah Paul strike here as much as she can.
Yeah, no, 100%. Just first ball, look to get Leah in strike. She's been in there for a period of time now, and then I suppose on the flip side of that, the Typhoons are trying to starve Leah of as much strike as possible and bowl a lot of dots at the other end and just restrict as many boundaries as they can going into the last 2. Laura's done a great job, nearly 3 overs, 1 for 8. She set the standards really well here as captain and taken that responsibility as we spoke about earlier.
She'll be a little bit disappointed there. She got a good piece of that. A decent shot for her first ball. Unfortunately though, picked out the fielder. And a good piece of fielding once again from Alice Tector there. She's been busy all day. Good hands. I suppose best result for the Dragons in a way is that it keeps Leah Paul on strike at the start of this 19th. But they do need a good finish now. Yeah, 102's been a good platform here. They've been okay. But 2 good overs to finish here could really set them up for the second innings.
Oh, definitely, they'll be looking to hopefully get a boundary early on in the over and then just try and rotate in the middle and then finish it over strongly. I think that they'll be looking at hopefully 8, 9, 10 and over now and try to get up to that 120 mark. I still think it's a little bit short on this wicket and this ground, but there was quite a few early wickets, so to drag it back to 120, still something they can bowl at.
Yeah, it's going to be Ava Canning who's going to bowl the 19th, obviously her final. 1 for 17 in the first spell, and she bowled in the power play. Just getting the field sorted, as we mentioned earlier. Predominantly bowls in swing, which will be away to the left-hander. Back and pulled. Again, a bit of an under edge from Leah Paul. Called through. She'll get back for 2. As we mentioned, these are the scenarios the fielder's got to look. Where can we prevent the second run here? We've got to keep Leah Paul off strike as much as we can. So can we be tight to try and prevent that second? She's got back for 2 that time. There. Right this time, and there is that 1. Nobody on the offside chain.
Yeah, as we spoke about, I'd like to really see a wide Yorker for Leah and just make her drag it across. They seem to have gone the other way and have that build-the-ball field. They've got long on, deep square, cow and fine leg. As Leah's very strong on the leg side, but I'd really like to see maybe a change of tactics. Maybe go that wide line and set your 3 or 4 on the offside and make Leah drag it across the line. Could be a good option going into the last 10 deliveries.
That's what we talked about. Molly Devine got to get Leah Paul back on strike. She's got a little bit of an underedge, but Mary Waldron does really well. Just gets a little piece on it and create a bit of confusion, and ends up with the dot ball.
Kind of scrambling for the ball there. Could have been run out of here then. And luckily for both the Dragons batters, they're safe in the ground. And a dot ball there for Molly. She's 0 of 2. She ideally wants to, release the pressure now and really get a boundary and hopefully go downtown with mid on and mid off in the ring.
She's got bat on it. Oh, a misfield this time. Will be swept up. They get 2. Possibly just the first misfield we've seen all day. It's been good in the field by the Typhoons, taking their catches when they've been available. As you mentioned, good ground fielding. Just don't want to let it slip now as we move towards the last over. Yeah, that's good lines from David Canning. Again, Molly Devine possibly just needs to work out. Where can I get a single here? Obviously, we're now into the last ball, so we'll probably be having a chat with her and saying you got a free hit here now. We're looking at even, not 2, 4, 6.
Yeah, definitely this ball's a free hit for Molly. She can try and make use of this delivery. It's 100% a free hit, so hopefully she can put this one away to the boundary.
Okay, well bowled from the County on the mark. And just little things like that, just as the women's game progresses, we would look to say, possibly again the skipper could have come down here and had a quick word with her and said, look, you got a free hit, don't worry about getting out. If you get out, you get out. It doesn't matter, we've still got 5 wickets in hand, so take a free hit at that one. If you miss it, doesn't matter.
Yeah, definitely. It's just, especially in the second last over, it's about playing with that freedom. You're trying to do what's best for the team. It's kind of putting your personal performance aside, and that no fear of failure. Trying to eliminate that fear of failure and playing with freedom. If you get out, you get out. But at least you're trying to do the right thing for the team. Put the team first. So hopefully they can do that now in the last 6 deliveries.
Okay, 1 to go here in this innings for the Dragons in this Evoke T20 Super Series match. It's going to be captain Laura Delaney, who has currently bowled 1 for 8. Just see her coming in now to bowl this last over. Down the ground, it's well hit, and it pierces the 2 on the boundary. A really good shot that time from Leah Paul. As we say, straight down the ground. A really good option.
Great shot from Leah Paul. Really strong shot down the ground. Hit pretty firmly. And that was always running away to the boundary. Great start to the over. Hopefully she can continue this now and then the next delivery.
There's a little bit of luck now. She's got an edge on that one, and that's running away down to the 3rd boundary, and she's got another one. So this is exactly the momentum we talked about for the Dragons. Back-to-back boundaries.
Yeah, back-to-back boundaries. 8 off 2 balls. Great work from Leopold. That just positive intent, really aggressive intent. While she got an edge, she'll be, force forward. We'll take it. She'll be looking to hopefully get another couple of boundaries here and even bring up her 50.
A little bit aerial this time, and another catch. Well taken from the Typhoons. I think it's her 3rd catch. It looks like Alice Tector right there, is it? It's another catch taken by the Typhoons. They've been good in the field, trying to go very similar to the first ball, trying to come straight down the ground. She's got a bit of an edge on that one, but a good knock from the Dragons captain. She's gone for 44. It's 115 for 6.
Yeah, another great catch from Alice. I'm sure if any of her brothers are watching, especially Harry, he'll be pretty happy with how she's fielded today. And yeah, great knock from Leah, doing a great job for her team. Came in at a tricky time after losing a couple quick wickets, and obviously a great punish up there with Arlene, and for her to get 44 and I'd give the Dragons something to bowl to. I still think they're maybe 5 or 10 short after not getting that 130 mark. I think she's done a great job for her team, as we see the new batter coming to the crease.
Yeah, we talked about Leopold. She was just under 100 strike rate, but you can see there 118 she ended with. Just added that little bit of momentum there with those couple of boundaries, and they can get themselves up to that 120 now with a few balls left. Eva Fisher has come in, so just important possibly they can just try and get to that 120. But that's well bowled. Well bowled from Laura Delaney. The experience there, just stump to stump. And trying at the death. Eva Fisher trying to just keep the momentum going there, but just that experience of bowling stump to stump at this particular time of the innings.
Yeah, the old you miss I hit. Eva Fisher looking to hit a boundary there and go across the line, doing the right thing for a team. I think you've got to look for boundaries at this stage of the innings, but good execution there from Laura Delaney. Being top of middle stump, asking the batter to go across the line, and Eva Fisher's just gone across the line slightly too much instead of maybe looking to hit the side screen down the ground, but she'll learn from that moving forward as we go into the last two deliveries.
Yeah, look, it's a difficult time to come in. As you say, you want to keep your wicket. You could quite easily push a couple of singles, but that's not doing your team any good, really, taking two singles at the end here. You really got to go for it, and no fault to the batter on that occasion. And the same deal really for Kate McAvoy now. She's coming in just with a couple of balls to go. No real option but to try and score a couple of boundaries. And she gets a little piece of luck that Eva Fisher maybe didn't get. She's got an under edge on it. Almost a replica delivery. Stump to stump, but she's got that little inside edge. And gets two.
Yeah, very similar delivery there from Laura. You need a bit of luck, I suppose, and Kate's definitely got that this ball. The previous ball. You do need luck in this game. Things go your way some days, and the next day they don't. So nice to get some luck every now and then.
Very similar again. This time it's an outside edge. And is running away down towards the boundary. Can it be pulled in? Again, that's close. Not too sure whether that's gone for the four. We'll have to keep an eye on the umpires. They seem to be happy. It's given us two, I think. We'll have to get that confirmed. But at the moment, it's a good finish for the Dragons in the end. And they've got to that run of ball. So they've taken it up to 124-7. And I would say probably a little bit short, but still a run of ball. I think they'll be happy to get there from having lost those 3 wickets early.
Yeah, definitely good. Definitely something to bowl to. I think maybe 10 or 15 short on a good wicket, and as we spoke about those shorter boundaries. But I think if the Dragons can learn from the Typhoons and back up a fielding performance like they've done in the field, they taken their catches and bowled some good lengths. I think if they can do that and get some early wickets, I think we could have a really good game on our hands.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. I think we have a really decent game coming. So we'll have a look at the Dragons scorecard. As we said earlier, got off to a good start with Bella Armstrong and Amy Hunter. But then a couple of wickets, and Louise Little came on to bowl. She bowled an absolute perler of the delivery at Amy Hunter, got that wicket, and the Dragons went 3 down. But then a good partnership between Captain Leopold and Arlene Kelly got them back into it. Leopold stayed for most of the innings then and departed there just at the end. And a couple of runs at the end are very important, getting them up to that run up ball. The partnerships, as I said at the very start, Bella Armstrong and Amy Hunter put on 26 in quick time. And then the major partnership between Leopold and Arlene Kelly in the middle settled down the Dragons and got them up to 120 for 7 at a run up ball for their innings.
And just as we see the bowling figures there, Ava Canning 1 for 22 off of 4, doing a really good job up top. And I thought Freya Sargent was brilliant with her off-break bowling and the power play, bowling in tough periods of the game, and she really restricted the boundaries and did a good job. Louise Little there, a lot of extracting that extra bounce, and Laura Delaney bowling stump to stump and getting 3 for 21, doing a really good job there. And then Alice Tactor and Georgia Atkinson chipping in as well. So a really good bowling performance for the Typhoons. As we just see the match summary there. Leopold with 44 37, doing a great job. Captain's innings, and Arlene Kelly joining her there with 29. And I thought, yeah, Louise Little and Lords Lane were the pick of the bowlers with 3 for 21 or 4, and Louise Little 2 for 26 or 4, and Ali, as we spoke about, a few edges off her bowling, but overall a really good job.
Yeah, really good innings there for both teams in effect. Actually, I think they might both be happy with that in a way. Obviously, we're going to take the innings break here now, and when we return in around 10-15 minutes, the Typhoons will be chasing 121 for victory in this Evoke T20 Super Series game. Looks like it's going to be a cracker. It'd be great for you to join us again here at Woodville Road in Eglinton in around 10-15 minutes. Hope to see you then. And welcome back here to Woodville Road in Eglinton in the Northwest Cricket Union. Just hearing the round of applause as the Dragons take the field for the second part of this Evoke T20 Super Series match. The Dragons were inserted by the Typhoons and they have scored 120 for 7 from their 20 overs. So exactly a run of ball for the Dragons. And that's a good recovery from them after they lost 3 wickets early on. Captain Leopold top scoring with 44. So we just see the Typhoons batters. Louise Little and Robin Searle are coming out. You'll just see them coming onto your screen in a few seconds. There's Louise Little and Robin Searle just entering the screen at the top end. So 121. I'm delighted once again to welcome Shane Getgate, captain of the Northwest Warriors, with me here. Shane, 120. You said earlier possibly 10 runs short on this wicket. Looks quite good. So it should be a good game though.
Yeah, possibly 10 runs short, but I still think of the Dragons, you know, if they can learn from the Typhoons and get a couple early wickets here, get 2-3 wickets here in the first 6, that's going to put the Typhoons batters under a lot of pressure, and it looks like a bit of a tricky wicket to start your innings.
Arlene Kelly's going to bowl from the Willows end, and we saw a lot of bounce at that end from Louise Little, and off the mark straight away into that position we've talked about quite a lot in the broadcast today, down towards third. So immediately a little edgy, but I'll take those runs again, and they're off the mark on the first ball.
Yeah, almost a identical start to the first innings. A lot of runs going down to third. Maybe it could be a good option to bring square leg across and plug that gap and make the batters go across to mid wicket, because it seems like, you know, a lot of bounce from this end, and it's kind of going off the edge and really go and square the wicket, as we see a change of the field here from Leopold. Cal corner coming up, so we have a long on, and it looks like possibly a third for Arlene Kelly.
Yeah, we saw Laura Delaney quickly establish that and bring herself into that position, so good captaincy from Leopold. She's seen that that's a fairly regular run scoring position. It's a nice shot from Louise Little, full ball, and pushes it down mid on his back. So a fairly safe shot, and that brings Robin Searle on to face her first delivery.
Yeah, I think if the Typhoons batters can, you know, get off that flyer start, I think it's going to put the Dragons under a lot of pressure and force them to make a change and force them to maybe search for wickets. So I think, you know, if they can be nice and positive here in the power play, and, you know, Robin Searle's the overseas, really take that responsibility and get a score for her team. She'll be looking to do that now as she faces her first delivery.
It's really well bowled from Arlene Kelly. Yeah, Robin Searle in her first couple of games this season looked possibly in a class above here. She looked very, very controlled. Seemed to know what her game was. A few scores lately. Again, just as the Typhoons have dropped off a little bit. And she'll be key today, I'm sure. Her wicket will be top of the order for the Dragons.
Really good length here from Arlene. Top of middle stump. Hitting a really strong length, nothing too floaty, nothing too short, and taking away the batter's arms in the first 6 overs is key, as we spoke about so consistently. I think she'll be looking to, you know, hopefully get a breakthrough here and maybe get an LBW or bowled. It's great to see Amy Hunter, you know, standing up to the stumps.
She squeezed that out, leg side. It'll just be one. It is just one. Good bit of fielding out there. The Dragons, good bit of energy from the Dragons early. They'll be happy to have got to that 120. Got the score on the board. And I think you mentioned it, Shane. I think totally key here is the start here. If the Typhoons in the first 6 can go wicketless, they'll be pretty confident. There's our position again. We've talked about it's going to be 2 more into the gap down there at third. Very similar to the first ball of the over is the last. And the first over goes for exactly 6.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe a gully or a short third, just trying to plug that gap. And I think if you can plug that gap and build some dots, it's got to create some pressure. 6 off the first over, really good over there from Arlene Kelly. A little bit unlucky with a few edges down, as we spoke about, down to third. As we see a bowling change, and Alana Dazel comes on at the clubhouse end.
Yeah, again, we watched Alana Dalzell bowl at Lisburn a few weeks back. I've sort of noticed just a lot of the girls bowl a lot of in swing. She's one of the few I've noticed that actually bowls out swing. Right arm and bowls out swingers. So we'll see if she can bowl that here and bowl to her field. We've got an offside field here, 3 in the ring. And again, Amy Hunter staying up to the stumps, keep the batter in the crease.
Nice swing there from Alana Dazel. Yeah, as we spoke about, bowling on those partnerships is key. So it's great to have Ollie and Kelly bring the ball back in, and then at the other end you've got Alana trying to take the ball away from the bat. And while there is a bit of swing there, it's still key. It's trying to stay nice and tight to off stump. And if there is a bit of swing there, I'd love to see a slip in. I'd love to see that aggressive captaincy and really try to take wickets in the power play.
Yeah, definitely for Alana. I think given that she does swing the ball away from the right-hander, and you can see it again and again. Slightly unlucky. She's bowled well there. It's come off the edge. It is going to be pulled up. It'll be 2 again. There's 6 runs already that we've seen. The 9 have come in that area, and if she's going to bowl out swing, surely in the first, second over of a game, you've got to have a slip in there to try and take a wicket.
Yeah, I think it's just about being smart, and maybe throughout the series, it's been slow wickets, skiddy wickets, and definitely today there's been noticeable, more bounce. So maybe as captains, and a no ball there from Alana Dazel, should be upset with herself. And now a free hit for Louise Little, who I'm sure will be looking, to go over the side screens or hopefully put one over the houses.
She'd be really disappointed with that, because she'd found the line there. Again, she's got a little bit of swing. Just looking at the girls bowling here in terms of out swing, is it something on a technique? I mean, you've coached a lot of girls during the winter in terms of their bowling. Is there some technique? Are they bowling in terms of the out swing? Oh, I see a lot of in swing bowlers. Just break off for a second to see this free hit, of course. And that's been bowled, but of course, literally a free hit for Louise Little. So, but the Dragons will take that. So yeah, just the girls you've been coaching over the winter, is there a technique thing maybe that we don't see too many outswing bowlers?
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a technique thing. Just that wrist position is obviously really key. But it's just, firstly, I've been really impressed by most of the bowlers on display today have either got really a lot of bounce on the wicket, or they've looked to swing the ball. So to start with, that's a really positive sign for Irish cricket. It's not always about bowling really fast and trying to bowl loads of bounces. If you can be skillful with the ball and hold the length and look to swing it both ways, you've got to be in a really good position to have a successful career. And it's great to see the amount of talent on display throughout the series. Great shot there, a little bit of width, just 1 run to the sweeper boundary, just as we spoke about. Yeah, Alana getting a bit of swing here, but just too much width. I'd like to see her maybe start that ball a little bit straighter, and just take away those arms from the batter.
Well, we've talked about during the men's at the Pro Series this week a lot about fast bowlers and having a battery of them, having 6, 7 and to bowl for it. It's the same for the girls and the women. It's not just the same bowlers all of the time. You got to have backups. It's pulled. There will be a sweeper out there. They're going to try and take 2. They're coming back for 2. Yeah, taking 2 there. It's a little bit short. Yeah, so just having a backup to the players that are there, so you've got a good pool to pick from, and having different skills about out swing, in swing, as you say, using the pitch and bowling at different paces. Yeah, good finish to the over for Alana Dalzell. Wasn't the worst over I've ever seen. She's got a little bit of swing there. Again, just need her captain to get the right feel for it. 7 from it. Typhoons off to a decent start. Just over that run of ball. 13 for no loss.
Yeah, as we spoke about it, yeah, there's a little bit of swing there from Alana Dazel and Arlene Kenny from either end. I'd definitely like to see a catch and cover or a slip and play whilst the ball is still new and still moving around. Because as we've seen in T20 cricket, once there's a partnership and the ball's not doing too much, and you've got two set batters, it's really hard to restrict the runs. And the Dragons don't have too many runs to play with today, so they've got to be really disciplined with the ball and maybe take a bit of a punt as a captain and try to get some early wickets. And I'd just love to see maybe a gully or a slip, just especially early on with these two new batters.
Yeah, okay. Kelly taking out the two number 11s. A bit of a pop at each other. A fist pump. Good to see. Yeah, but I think with those close catchers, if they're not in, you're kind of taking away an option. Really, you're really looking now at either the batter making a mistake or a bold or an LBW. So, if you bowl a good ball and get the nick, you want somebody there to take the catch. I'll field it again. That's a catch. Excuse me, it's a catch. So I thought that was a bump ball. So my apologies, I've missed that. I thought that was a bump ball back, and Arlene Kelly's taking the catch. So it was even better bit of fielding than I thought. It's taking the wicket. And the Dragons will be absolutely delighted with that. They got rid of Louise Little. So yeah, possibly I'll watch the replay and pick it up this time. Yeah, it was clearly a catch for Arlene Kelly. She's done well to get down to her left there to take that. And the breakthrough for the Dragons. Louise Little's got to go. Cotton bowled Arlene Kelly for 8. And now into the crease comes the experienced Mary Waldron. She scored 40 in her last game against the Dragons. On a big partnership with George Atkinson. So she's in the third over. That's exactly what the Dragons wanted. Didn't want to let it drift. And they've got the breakthrough. Arlene Kelly taking the catch. As we mentioned about taking the responsibility off your own bowling. And Arlene Kelly's done exactly that with a cotton bowled. Drifting into the legs there. But there's a little bit of shape early on. The sand, a little bit of outswing. Arlene Kelly just getting it to shape back into the right-hander.
Yeah, definitely a bit of swing on play, which is great. Just keeping it nice and tight and attacking those stumps. I think we talk about so often in T20 cricket, attacking those stumps where the ball's swinging or where the ball's just going up and down. Even if you're a spinner, attacking those stumps is key. I think if you look at the stats, the dot ball percentage, if you do hit the stumps, is definitely a lot higher compared to maybe that missing that leg stump or offering that width on the offside.
That's really good stuff. Arlene Kelly. As we see on screen there, it'll be something to watch as we go through this innings. Obviously, we know that the run rate required at the start of the innings was exactly 6. So I'll give you the run rate, the current run rate on the left of your screen there, and then the run rate required on the right. We'll just keep an eye on it as we move through this innings. And there's another nick, and this one could go all the way. And does. So yet more runs in that position. And Shane, I hate to say the words, but I told you so possibly.
Yeah, Ali, more runs down there as we see. Looked like Mary meant to play it down there. Nice angle of the bat. Played it nice and late, and it's a short boundary down to the clubhouse end. So really good work there from Mary, and she started her innings pretty well here to be fourth of 3 deliveries. Really well bowled there from Eileen Kelly to finish the third over, 17 for 1. So fairly evens here in the power play. Good work from the Dragons and not too many loose deliveries. They've been targeting stumps, hitting some good lengths, and hopefully they can continue that and hopefully take 2 or 3 in the power play and put the Typhoons under a lot of pressure chasing this total of 120.
You see the Typhoons bench. I think fairly relaxed at the moment. But yeah, if we take out all of those runs that have gone behind the wickets, you'd have to say it's been a pretty decent start in terms of 4 balls, 3 hits maybe. They get the arms loose and width. It's been pretty decent so far from the Dragons. It's going to be Alana Dalzell to continue from this clubhouse end. Again, swing. Nice shot though from Robin Searle. Hit the wickets. And she was well home. A good piece of fielding. Just all counts. Puts it in the batter's head that the fielding's good and competent. Hitting the stumps. And a good shot from Robin Searle into the leg side for 1. That'll bring Mary Waldron down to this end to face Alana Dalzell for the first time. Yep, just dragged down. Gonna get away with that one really. Shortish ball on leg stump, picked up quite comfortably from Mary Waldron. She'll be possibly a little bit disappointed that she hasn't managed to hit that for 4. A wee bit of a hit me ball. It's only gone for 1 though. That's a beautiful ball. That's exactly what Alana Dalzell is trying to do. Just a good length. The batter not sure to come forward or back. That time she just stayed in her crease, fished a little bit, and a little bit of swing that Alana Dalzell's getting through to the keeper. Could so easily have picked up a wicket there.
Really well bowled there from Alana. Just that's the cover boundary for 1. Her line seems to be a little bit tighter this over while she's getting that shape. She definitely seems to be starting the ball a little bit straighter in this over. And while she got away with that short delivery, that Mary picked out the fielder. This has been a better over from her, just 3 off it so far. So hopefully she can finish well on these last 2 deliveries.
Oh, umpire thinking about a wide there, thinking about it. But again, the swing there. She's definitely one of the few bowlers that can get that ball moving away from the right-handers. And that's something, if it's not as common in the game, if you're seeing something different, it's often difficult for batters. That's squeezed again backward. Could go for 4 and does. It's actually quite a good shot from Mary Waldron. She's waited on that. But again, the boundary comes off the last ball of the over. That was a decent over from Alana Dalzell. You just see here, just waited on it and cut it behind square.
Yeah, really good shot there. Good use of the wrist from Mary Waldron. Alana will be a little bit disappointed to finish the over like that. Really got over up to that point. As we see, there's a bit of a bowling change now as Kate McAvoy comes into the attack, and just from memory, Wallace Park, at Lisbon that day a couple of weeks ago, she did get a lot of bounce. So we're interested to see if she does something similar to what Louise Litter did early in the day, and extracting that bounce off the pitch and hitting the seam and going a few cross seamers and hopefully making it life difficult for both these Typhoon batters.
Yeah, I think a good choice here from Leah Paul. As we said earlier, she was in and watched quite a lot of the innings, so choosing to bowl Kate McAvoy, tall bowler from that Willow's end. That's exactly what they'll be looking for her to hit the pitch and get that bounce. Just clipped off her legs there. Straight to the fielder and backward. No run. So yeah, an important couple of overs here just at the end of the power play. Very even Stevens at the moment.
Yeah, the last 2 overs is normally the hardest time to bowl as a bowler in the power play. We've got, batters that face 5 to 10 deliveries, and they've got used to the pace of the wicket. Got away with that one there, Kate. So she's got away with 2 there. Slightly short there with square leg in the ring. That's not ideally the ball you want to be bowling. She looks to be struggling a little bit with the run-up, which can happen here at Eglinton. There's a bit of a slope from either end, so hopefully she gets into a rhythm now and looks to hit top of off and get a wicket here in this over.
That's a good shot. Out to the boundary. Fielder stationed out there. But a nice shot, good confident. Foot across to the offside and played it confidently. Again, only one. It's only one coming from the first 3 deliveries. Brings Mary Walder on strike. And if the Dragons can just keep picking wickets up every so often and just keep the lid on the run rate. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? Another outside edge. This time, though, they've brought third. Very, very fine. So they're able to stop the boundary, but that would have been straight to first slip. I can't keep saying it, I suppose. Only one more to the total. Better length this time, Kate McAvoy. It's not a bad over so far, but again we come to this last ball of the over. Just the 2 so far. And this means this last ball determines whether it's been a good over for the Dragons or the Typhoons. It's going to be a dot. It is a good over for the Dragons in effect. So it's 5 gone. And it's now 26 for the loss of 1 wicket.
Yeah, really good finish there to the over from Kate. So as we see the scorecard there, Louise Edel, wooden ball from Arlene Kelly. Just Arlene getting a little bit of bounce from that end, as we've seen so often throughout the day. Really good, really straightforward catch from her. And Mary started her innings really positively now with 10 off 8 balls with a couple boundaries to her name. As we see Alana Dazil continue to bowl a 3rd over, hopefully make the most of the new ball and get some swing here and hopefully pick up a wicket or 2. Really well bowled there from Alana. Good line, good running from the Typhoons batters. Just drop and run. I think if they can do that well throughout the innings, rotate well. As well as the Dragons batted there in the middle with Arlene Kelly and Leah Paul. I think if these 2 can run well between the wickets and be nice and busy, it'll just force the Dragons to chase the game a bit and search for those wickets, and then ideally more bad balls will come.
That's well fielded at mid wicket there. Armstrong getting her hand down. And that is the bad ball in the over, possibly a full toss. Yeah, I think we've got a little bit of cover on the cover boundary now, but I think we need to back up on it. She's bowling just outside off and give her that confidence to bowl that 4 stump line. Let it move. Just like that. Shouldn't be a single really there. Straight to the fielder. And that just makes the difference. You've just mentioned about running between the wickets. That really shouldn't have been a single. Just that impetus from the Typhoons there. It should have been a dot ball.
Yeah, nice and busy from these two batters, which is great to see. Alanda's bowled well. He hasn't bowled too many bad balls, but it seems that they're dropping and running, being busy at the crease. They have a good understanding. They've batted together before, and they seem to be putting the Dragons fielders under a bit of pressure. And so far, the Dragons have been a little bit sloppy in the field, so they'll be hoping to correct that and meet the standards of of the Typhoons fielders in the first innings. Just a wide delivery there from Alana, just overcorrecting, trying to take away any width. Good work from her so far. She'll be looking to continue to hit her lengths and do a good job for her team. And I think these two have been rebuilt really well, and they can put away this bad ball for the rest of the over. They'll finish this power play on a really positive note.
Yes, just looking at her figures here. She's coming up 2 balls shy of her third over. She's gone for 18 runs. Just watching her 3 overs, I think she's bowled better than that. She's been quite tight. There haven't been any real 4 balls where the batters had a free swing at it. I think she's been pretty decent here, Alana Dalzell. She's been looking to finish out here. Say that, of course. Drops one short, but a good bit of fielding. Keeps it down to 1. That's important. Don't want to give away runs. Only 1 ball short of the power play. And as we saw possibly on the worm graphic that was just up, I don't think it could be any more even right now.
Yeah, seems to be fairly even, Stevens. I think the Dragons were maybe 2 wickets down, 32 for 2 at a similar stage. So yeah, really good balance. Really good game we have in our hands, and it seems to be in the balance so far.
That's well bowled. And on the stumps, dugout. Mary Waldron. That does take us to the end of that 6 over power play. Again, if we look at the old run rate required, it's just crept above 6. That'll be okay. They'll not mind that right now. And of course, we look at the old adage, add another couple of wickets on there, change everything. So it's, as we've said a few times now, we look to be in for a really close contest here.
Yeah, I think taking wickets now through the middle of this innings is key to stemming that run rate and trying to creep that run rate up to 7.5 and over. And then as a new batter, if you're coming in and you need 7 or 8 and over, you got to feel the pressure. It seemed to be a little bit tricky to start your innings on this wicket, especially with the bounce from this end. So hopefully Kate McAvoy can come in here and hit the pitch hard, maybe mix up her pace and use a few cross seamers to make it a little bit too pace for the batters to really get their hands through the ball. Really well bowled there from Kate, and good cricket from Mary Waldron into the gap. She seems to have found the gaps really well today out of all the batters. She might just be 14 off 12 balls, but she's definitely found the gaps really well so far today, and she's looked busy at the crease. Really used the crease well, used her angles well, so hopefully she can continue that now throughout her innings. Just a little bit sloppy there in the field, misfield. Good rotation of the strike from Robin Searle. While she hasn't got away, she has been busy and rotated well. She'll be hopefully looking to get a boundary or 2 away in her next couple of deliveries, but she's done a really good job here, and this partnership seems to be growing quite nicely.
Yeah, you mentioned about Mary Waldron there. 14 off 13 now, but she's been busy, and I'm sure the old analysts will be looking at dot ball percentages in T20, as you mentioned earlier. Dot balls are killer in this format of the game. It's not just wickets, but if dot balls create pressure and they create wickets, so dot balls are key. So I'm sure they're looking at how many dot balls are faced, and so far I don't think Mary's had too many.
Just misfield there from Leopold. Just one. Luckily, just one. 2 now. 2 now for the Typhoons batters. Just sloppy fielding again, sloppy throw coming in. They'll be looking to to really up the standards now in the field, because it's definitely noticeable. If we look at the Typhoons, they took their catches, saved the twos in the field, and some really strong throws coming into Mary. So hopefully the Dragons can up the standards in the field and really back up the bowlers, because Kate seems to be doing a really good job here with the ball. Slow ball by Kate there, looked like a leg cutter. Not sure if that's needed on this wicket, especially from that end. There's enough in the pitch in terms of bounce, and I'm not too sure if that's needed just yet, but a dot ball.
Yeah, the difference in standard in the field so far in the first 6 or 7 overs here could be the difference in the game.
Really good batting there from Mary, down to third for 1. Definitely seems to be using the angles really well, using the wrists well, being busy at the crease, looking to score. I think out of all the batters so far, she's been, as we spoke about, really busy at the crease, looking to score every ball, whether it's a half volley or a really good ball from the bowler top of off stump. She's been looking to be nice and proactive and nice and busy. So it's been great to see so far. We see a change of bowling. I think it's going to be Cara Murray coming into the attack. Hopefully she can make use of taking the pace off, like George Atkinson did. Whilst the boundaries are quite short straight, I think taking the pace off was really effective in that first innings. I'm sure Mary will be looking to sweep, no doubt. Could be a really good option against Cara Murray, looking to go square the wicket.
Yeah, just checking the field. Got a deep cover. Bit of a wide long off. Yeah, the sweep option looks to be there. It's just against the spin possibly. That's a really nice start from Cara Murray. Very important spell for her here. She'd be disappointed with the bat earlier. She's in good form of the bat. Scored a big 100 for her club side just recently. So she fielded with the bat today, but sometimes if you got the ball in your hand, then that's a chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah, I suppose that's the beauty of being an all-rounder. As the batters look for 2, just 1, well fielded. Yeah, I suppose that's the beauty of being an all-rounder. You get 2 bites of the cherry. She'll be disappointed not to take her opportunity batting at 3, but I think she's in the game here with her 4 overs, and she's been bowling really well this year, and the confidence is up. She seems to be in control of what she's trying to do, so hopefully she can do a really good job here for her team.
Yeah, seems to be coming out quite well. Certainly from these first 2 deliveries. Obviously, you just want to start well as a leg spinner in particular. Just want to feel the ball coming out of the hand nice and cleanly. And just like that. I mean, we're right behind her here at the moment, and still seem to have really controlled action. The ball seems to be coming out quite cleanly.
Yeah, it seems quite clear that just watching Cara bowl over the last couple of years, she really, she likes to turn the ball, which is great. It's a wicket-taking option. Every T20 team needs a leg spinner, and she knows that. So, really well bowled there. Again, she started her over well. We spoke about it again. I'd love to see her slipping, trying to get Mary out. Mary's done well. Yeah, she's 18 off 19 balls. Cara seems to be in really good rhythm. So, I'd love to see her slipping. Maybe take. Again, good batting from Mary. Nice and busy in the crease. Using the crease well, going deep and open up that angle to get a quick single.
Good from Cara Murray though. As I say, it's difficult coming in cold, throwing the ball on the leg spinner, but this has been really good. And there you go. That's a beautiful delivery. Flighted. Has hit the target, and that just makes it a fantastic over now. Just 3 runs coming from it. She's picked up the 2nd wicket for the Dragons, and an absolutely fantastic start now for Cara Murray there.
Yeah, really good start from Cara. She's been on the money from ball 1, and we just see Robin Searle going across the line a little bit, just trying to break the wrist and go through mid wicket. Probably needed to look to maybe hit that down to mid off or long on. But great work from from Cara Murray, and she started her over really well, and massive breakthrough getting the overseas of the Typhoons batters. As we see the captain Laura Delaney come out to the crease, I'm sure she'll talk to Mary and have a clear game plan moving forward here. Two experienced cricketers. This is a massive partnership here for the Typhoons. So if the Dragons can look to squeeze every new batter that comes in, I think this is going to be really a close game, and Cara's done a great job here. And hopefully the bowlers can back it up at the opposite end.
So yeah, kind of a mirror image of the first innings, the Dragons, or it was an extra wicket possibly, but the two experienced players for the Dragons came in. Leah Paul, Arlene Kelly settled in, scored a run of ball for quite a while. Arlene Kelly then started to have a bit of momentum through. We're now at the same sort of situation now. 8 overs gone. Now we've got two internationals in here. We've got Laura Delaney just coming to the crease. Mary Waldron. They'll know each other's game very well. So now we've got a change of bowling coming on from that Willow's end. It's been a productive end. It's going to be Jess Mays. It's going to come on and bowl. A big task for Jess here to come on against these two. And also a good time with the new batter in. And she squeeze out a few overs here. Maybe even take a wicket for her skipper.
Just a wide delivery there from Jess Mays. Just going down the leg side, and as we know, anything down the leg side these days is unfortunately wide for the bowlers. So I think the key is any of the bowlers coming on, they need to be on it from ball one. Cara was brilliant in the last over, on the money from ball one, and was great to get a wicket in her first over. But I think these change bowlers, with defending a small total, it's really important to be on the money from ball one. Misfield there from the Dragons, and that's a boundary for. Just a bit of width there from Jess Mays, trying to overcorrect from the previous delivery, and Mary Walden has hit that to the boundary pretty fiercely. Great shot from Mary, great use of the wrists. That's been something really noticeable about her game today. Her placement's been great, and her really strong wrists, square the wicket has been pretty noticeable from my end.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And her wrist work's been really strong at the point of contact, and also well balanced when she's been hitting her shots. And that gives her the extra power then, because the wrist work then, on your balanced, gives you that good strong base to hit the ball hard. I think hitting the ball hard is a key thing here. And again, you can see exactly that off the back foot. But a good sound off the bat. She's really hitting cleanly through the ball, and good running. Or is it? Yeah, just good dive at the end. Gets her back for two. And that's that intent we're talking about.
Yeah, really good running there from Mary, putting that field under pressure. She probably knew from the ball before, unfortunately going through her legs for four, that she'd be a little bit nervous attacking that ball. So I suppose that's really good experience for Mary. She's played a lot of cricket. She seems to have a really clear game plan here, and she's putting pressures both on the bowlers and the fielders. Just a wide delivery there from Jess Mays. Seems to be under a bit of a pressure here to hit her straps. Just through Mary being really busy at the crease, and hopefully Jess can come back now in these last two deliveries. As we spoke about it a lot, but the Warriors actually just, if those first 3 or 4 deliveries don't go your way, you can still make an impact in those last 2 deliveries, 1 or 2 deliveries, so giving yourself a chance if things don't go your way at the start of the over, just trying to have that resilience to finish your over well.
Yeah, just looking at it, I do think sometimes it can happen that sort of a big character is out there. Mary Waldron, we all know she's big character in the Ireland team, not only there, but in this Typhoons team, very experienced, and sometimes that character, that charisma that you're showing, the intent that you're showing out there, just puts the pressure on the bowler. They know that this girl's coming after me, and it just tightens you up a little bit as a bowler. Nicely done from Laura there. It's her first ball. Just tucks it into the leg side. She might just sit back now and let let Mary do all the business here. She's on fire at the minute. So good work there from Laura just to get her back on strike. And the 50 up for the Typhoons.
Yeah, and it's great stuff from Laura there. I think it's a nice time to come into bat. Mary's been there for a period of time now, so talking to her, trying to see what's best, see what options are best on this wicket. As Jess Mays comes in, finishes with a dot. Nice finish to her over. Probably didn't go the way she would have liked, but that's 10 off her first over. Sorry, as we see Cara Murray come in for a second, and hopefully she can repeat some of the same what she did in the first over.
Yeah, this is going to be a really interesting over now. She's going to bowl to these two experienced players. 50 on the board, they haven't got away, so it's not as if they're racing away with the game, and they have to really take wickets. There's two ways of applying pressure here for the Dragons. Obviously, taking wickets is key as well. We've talked about that, but if they can just keep that run rate just rising again, 6.45 at the minute, and just get it up to 7. You mentioned earlier, Shane, new batters coming in. If it's 7.5, it's really difficult then to keep up with that rate. So two jobs here, two opportunities for the Dragons, and let's see if Cara Murray can keep up that momentum from her first over.
Really good start there from Cara Murray, and I like that she's got mid on, mid off, up in the ring, forcing Laura Delaney to take a risk downtown. And we know how important this partnership is. Two experienced players, with the Irish captain and Mary Waldron, a very experienced cricketer. So I like that from Cara Murray. Bit of bravery, and hopefully it pays off. 2 dot balls to start the over. Really good from Cara Murray, and she's hit her straps from ball one. Really impressed with her pace. And she's held a good length, and really given no freebies to the batters so far.
Yeah, I think the pace that she's bowled at is really important. And you mentioned it there. And she's got the wicket again. This is fantastic bowling from Cara Murray. She's bowling her team right into this contest here so far. 2 for 3 from her 9 deliveries, and she's got the Irish skipper. Again, I think it was just the sort of way she's bowling with a bit of pace. Laura Delaney not sure about whether to come forward or go back, and she's got an inside edge onto the stumps, and she's gone for 1.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Cara here, just in terms of her confidence. I like that, as we spoke about, bringing the field up, kind of being a little bit brave, and it's paid off. 2 dot balls, and then on the money, forcing Laura to maybe go too square the wicket and getting an inside edge. So really good confidence from Cara Murray. She's got a wicket in both of her overs so far, and she seems to be changing the course of this game. So hopefully she can continue that for the Dragons.
Yeah, you've just mentioned it. I'm really impressed with the pace that she's bowling at. She's not bowling leg spin. We saw earlier George Atkinson bowled with a lot more flight and loop, a lot more time for the batters to sort of think about the shot they're going to play. Just there, the pace that she bowled at didn't give Laura Delaney time to sort of work out where she was going to play, and it hurried on to her a little bit too close to cut and made her make the mistake onto the stumps. So George Atkinson's now come in to actually face Cara Murray.
Good start. I think that was a googly from Cara Murray, trying to hit the new batter on the pads. Like that. I really like her confidence. She seems to be in control of what she's trying to do here, so hopefully she can continue this and continue to take wickets and change the course of this game. I think Mary might possibly look to go downtown, but as we know, she's a really strong sweeper of the ball.
Yeah, but just that option again now with 3 wickets down. Now the thought process for the 2 that are in now, can we afford to really take this on now? With only 2 down, possibly they can go a little bit earlier, but now they might be thinking, well, for 4 or 5 down now, chasing 120. So that's what these wickets have done.
Yeah, I think the Typhoons batters, if they just get together at the end of this over here, another great over from Cara. I think Cara's got 2 overs left. She's probably going to be the best bowler for the Dragons today if they can just play some smart cricket. Take 4, 5 and over, just rotate really well for her and play some low risk cricket, and then hopefully at the other end, they can get their 6, 7 and over they'll be well on the course to winning this game. But I think Kara's bowled really well there. I think they really need to knuckle down and just play some smart cricket from that other end, especially for Kara's last 2 overs.
Just putting your skipper's head on for a second. I know you don't like to do it too often when you're not doing it, but 2 overs you've mentioned, she's going to probably be the way that she's bowled in her first 2 overs. Do you keep her going now? Do you keep her going? Give her another one at least, and try and squeeze this and get that run rate going up even further.
Yeah, 100%. I think if you take the wicket here, Mary, the Typhoons will start to definitely get a little bit tense on that bench. She's been brilliant so far. So if Kara can continue, and as a captain, I'd be keeping Kara on and bowling her 4 straight through. Hopefully Leah Paul can join the party here and just bowl stump to stump and really attack those stumps and give the batter no width. I think that's key to hopefully bowling a few dot balls. We don't see a mid-wicket in play. I'd like to see extra cover and mid-wicket squeezing here on the ring, especially against Mary, who's rotated so well so far today.
That shot again into the cover boundary, but this is what the Super Series is all about right here. We've got Cara Murray bowling beautifully from the clubhouse end. We've now got Leah Paul on to bowl spin the Willow's end. Mary Waldron in there as well, and now George Atkinson. What's going to be a wide probably, yep, just drifting down the legs. So as we said, 10 overs to go. Good game here.
Yeah, the game's definitely in the balance here. 55 for 3 is another wide from Leopold, just overcorrecting. I think these next 4 or 5 overs are key, depending how Kara's last 2 overs go and how if Leah comes to the party here and they build a good partnership from either end. Great shot there, just for one, unfortunately. I think if these two can bowl well in the next 4 or 5 overs, that's going to be it. That's where the game lies. I think if Mary's batting in the last 4 or 5 overs and she's on 40 not out, I think chasing 120, I think they should get it fairly easy. So be interested to see how these next 3 or 4, 5 overs go.
It's a good shot again from Mary Waldron. She's placement today has been excellent. She's just waited on that delivery, a little bit extra pace from the bowler. She just let it come on, and rather than hit it in front of square like she has been doing, just use the pace, let it run off the face, and picks up a boundary again. Get over this. Typhoons so far.
Really well played there from Mary. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the stats. I don't know. I might have a chat with Jay after the game, but there doesn't seem too many dot balls from whenever Mary's on strike. She's really rotated well. She's put away the bad ball. Out of all the batters today, I think she's really done the basics really well and put the bowlers under pressure. So if she can continue this inside edge there from George Atkinson just for one. Yeah, I think if Mary can continue this for her team, she's got to hopefully be not out at the end and carry the bat for her team and get a good win for the Typhoons.
Yeah, I think it was these two that put on the big partnership for the Typhoons the last time. They were against the Dragons, both scored 40. So definitely Leah Paul looking to take a wicket here, try and break this partnership. A better ball to end the over. 10 again from it. It's back to back. 2 good overs for the Typhoons, and we can see their scorecard stand out in the middle of it. Mary Waldron, she seems to be the key to this game for the team in blue. For the team in red, it appears to be Cara Murray, and you can see they've just gone ahead now on the worm. A wicket less, and they're just starting to pick up the run rate now. So Cara Murray, she needs to keep it. She needs to keep it on board. She bowled beautifully so far. 2 for 5. dragged down, but only one. Cara Murray, the ball to Mary Walder, and this could be the key to the game. Drifting down legs a little bit. She's got a leg by, I think. There. Yep, a leg by. Just a little short that time from Cara Murray. And George Atkinson has picked the gap. And she's got that away for a boundary. And run's just starting to flow a little bit now for the Typhoons since that wicket of Laura Delaney.
Just a rare loose delivery there from Cara Murray. First one of the day. She's been brilliant so far, and just dropping that one short down the leg side and well put away. Just some scores coming in on Twitter. As we can see, the Irish lads are over in Essex at the minute. They require another 54 runs for a win against Essex in their 3-day first-class fixtures. James McCullum currently on 79 not out, and Peter Moore 91 out. So great to see them get some runs and hopefully find some form before the Test match at Lords, which we all know will be a special occasion for everyone travelling over next week. So it'd be nice to see the guys get a good win before walking out to Lords next week.
It sounds like a terrific effort from the boys over in Essex. It was hard going on day one. That's a great shot. It's well hit. And that is 4 more. Slightly over pitched. This time, George Atkinson getting her hands through the ball there. Hit it nice and cleanly to the offside boundary. And as I was just mentioning, if we had another look at the worm, it'll have another tick up there. Because the last 2 to 3 overs for the Typhoons, they've been picking up boundaries.
Yeah, just two loose deliveries there. One down the leg side, and then a full and wide one from Cara Murray. Two rare loose deliveries, just releasing the pressure. 49 required or 48. That's definitely brought the run rate down a lot, and they can afford to maybe just rotate now and not take too many risks. Just put that bad ball away. I think, yeah, if these two continue, they're going to look to probably chase it down with a couple overs to spare. So the Dragons really need a couple wickets now in the next couple overs.
Yeah, it's been really good so far for Mary Walden, as well as Cara Murray has bowled and brought the Dragons right back into it. Mary Walden's stood pretty firm. Hasn't played any risky shots as such, but she's ticking along and over a run of ball. Fairly comfortable at the minute for the Typhoons. A huge game for them in this Evoke T20 series. Currently sitting 3 points behind the Scorchers, who top the table. Of course, if they can get a win today, and possibly even at a push get a bonus point, but a win is probably what they're looking at. That will take them to 14 points and set up a big game towards the end of this series. A little bit tighter of a line there from Leah Paul. Just restricting that shot into the offside. Can't really get her hands through the ball that time. The ball stump to stump maybe, but nobody on the leg side in the ring.
Really well played from Mary. Through mid wicket for one. Yet again, she's rotated so well all day today. I like that from Leah, though. Bringing up the offside field, and it's nearly forced her to bowl a better line. I don't know what you think, Ali, but having that protection, she has offered up a bit of width. But as soon as she's brought up that fielder into the cover ring, she seemed to bowl a nice tight line, and hopefully she can keep that.
And that's exactly what you're saying there. She's bowled stump to stump there, and that's been her usual sort of form. She usually bowls fairly accurately on the stumps, and yeah, maybe just psychologically, I've got a fielder out there, I can just throw it out here. But we're giving away singles, and then the odd boundary. It wasn't really working, but seems to be bowling a lot tighter now. And as I say that, pulls one outside, off stump for another single.
Good over there by Leah, just 4 off it. Hopefully Cara can come on now and back that up, and for the next 2 or 3 overs, hopefully reduce the boundaries, and then hopefully a foul shot can come in. And they really need to squeeze hard here in the next 4 or 5 before going into the back end. As if they have wickets in hand and Mary's on 30 or 40 not out, 120 hopefully doesn't seem like it'll be enough. As we see a change of bowling here from the clubhouse end, Arlene Kelly comes back on. I like this from Leah, just saving Cara one over. Could be a good option to bring her back on if Arlene does seem to get the breakthrough here. And Amy's standing up to the stumps, which is another good option, as we spoke about throughout the day. I think if Arlene can keep it simple, not search too much, just hit the top of the stumps and force the batters to take a risk. If extra cover and point can squeeze hard and save the singles. I'd like to see a mid wicket in as well, especially for Georgia, and maybe not Mary, but just really try and squeeze this over, get 2 or 3 off it.
Yeah, I think it has been a wicket. It's been a good wicket that if you bat well, you'll score runs, but if you bowl well, it's hard to work around as a batter. It's not one you can sort of use the pace off the wicket. It seems quite difficult to if you bowl well without width. If you bowl, it seems a stump to stump type wicket, and that's exactly what they'll need Arlene Kelly to do here.
Yeah, I think it's been a brilliant cricket wicket. It shows you, as we talked about, from the far end, especially if you hit the pitch, you get some bounce out of it. But if you go a little bit floaty, it has been easy to score. Or if you miss your length on the offside or down leg, it has been easy to score. And Arlene just throwing up a little bit of width there, bit of an easy shot. I think moving forward here, she's got to really make the batters hit her best ball, hit her off her length, and not give up any freebies, because they are creeping closer and closer to that 120 mark.
That's cut again. Well fielded this time on the boundary. I think it's Dalzell down there. That's a good bit of fielding. A good throw in, but again, good placement from Mary Waldron. Just letting the ball come to her and cutting it behind the boundary fielder so that she can pick up 2. She moved on to 37 already.
Just keeping a little bit low there. I think there was a bit of a leg cutter, just kept it a little bit low. A red dot ball for Mary. I'd say she's had 5 or 6 dot balls in her innings today. 37 or 36 deliveries. She's been the standout batter so far, in my opinion, of the day. And hopefully she can continue this now for her team and get the Typhoons across the line.
And that's possibly the difference of what we talked about. That was a good straight ball from Arlene Kelly, but Mary Waldron's been so adept at even keeping the good balls ticking around for ones, whereas everybody else has seemed to struggle to get it away when it's a good ball. If it's a bad ball, certainly there's been other players being able to hit 4s, but Mary's been able to hit the good balls and get them away for singles.
Just playing a miss there from George Atkinson. Still a little bit too wide, in my opinion, from Arlene Kelly as she finishes the 3rd over. Not too much damage done as we go into the last 6 overs. 80 for 3, 41 needed off 36 deliveries, so it's going to be a close game here, and hopefully it swings either way. It's quite in the balance at the minute, but if the Dragons can get a wicket or 2, you never know what's going to happen.
I just mentioned again the partnership with DMG Media and Cricket Ireland. DMG Media, the parent company for our Evoke Super Series. Great to have them on board here. A female focused website, evoke.ie. All the business, fashion, finance and indeed sport for women across Ireland. There'll be promotion of all the cricket in the Super Series, not just this T20, but also the 50 over campaign to come. I'll be promoting all the girls cricket. I want to take a look at evoke.ie for all issues across Ireland and promotion of cricket in the country. It's a fantastic partnership with DMG Media. Paul to continue now into her third. He needs the breakthrough for our team.
Really well tucked around the corner from George Atkinson. She's 16 off 16, so she's rotated really well. These two have put on a great partnership here, and they'll be hoping to continue this. I just find, I think Leah needs to find a way to build some pressure, build some dots, bring mid wicket up. I think Mary's found the gaps pretty well today, and I don't know, she needs to try and knock her off her rhythm, knock her off her kind of flow at the minute, out of the middle. Really well bowled there from Leah. Nice stop ball. Hope she can finish the over now with a couple more, and as calm as Mary seems, as we spoke about so frequently, dot balls, you know, creates that pressure, and hopefully that'll create a silly shot or a loss of concentration for the Dragons.
Just as you talked about there, Shane, immediately one dot ball, and suddenly Mary's playing a sweep shot, which she hasn't played at all in her innings. She's been quite comfortably playing the ball in front of square and behind when she wanted. But there, one dot ball immediately, a little bit of pressure comes on. And just the ring field here, there's loads of gaps around here for ones and twos. Really got to create a wee bit of pressure here in order to take that crucial wicket.
Just a full toss there from Leah, just missing her length, and well worked to wide him on from George Atkinson. Coming into the last delivery here, Mary will be looking to just get up there over and then start again for the other end. I think there possibly will be a change, and Karen Murray will hopefully be back into the attack to hopefully try and break this partnership.
It'll just be one, I think. Yep. Good piece of fielding this time on the boundary. Ends the 15th. There we go. We've got it down now to 36 from the final 5. So although the Typhoons have been quite comfortable so far, it is still above 7 now. You know, we've seen, it sort of seems to us looking at the game, that the Typhoons are well in control here. That run rate has just jumped up a little bit again, and you're right. Shane Leopold is going to turn to Cara Murray, the bowler, 4th and final over. Figures a 2 for 14 at the minute. So I don't think we're done and dusted just yet.
Yeah, I think this is a massive over in the game. These next 6 deliveries has got to set up the last 4 overs. If Cara can get a wicket, or if she can go 2 or 3 and over, you've got to spike that run rate up and get it up to close to an 8 and over. As Mary comes down the track and tries to go over mid off, just inside edge for 1. Yeah, these next 5 deliveries I think in the terms of the game are absolutely massive. So it'll be interesting to see how these next few deliveries play out.
And again, as we mentioned, Cara Murray, the best bowler on show so far for the Dragons. So maybe do the Typhoon just pay her the respect, just like that. A quick run out here for Amy Hunter. Yeah, do they pay her the respect of saying, you've bowled so well today, we're quite happy to take even 4 or 5 off this over, take no risk, and then maybe score. But on the flip side of that, it does increase the run rate again.
Great shot from Mary Waldron behind square, looking for 2, and it goes for 4. Great shot from Mary, just releasing the pressure as we spoke about. Cara just going down leg stump slightly, and great shot from Mary as she plays that sweep shot that she's a great strength of hers. She's been brilliant today. Great rhythm at the crease, clear plans, rotation on the strike, and the bowlers have been under pressure every time they've bowled her.
a clean hit out to the boundary. But that boundary just makes the difference now, because the pressure now comes onto the bowler. They have to now take a wicket. Dot balls can't help now because they've already got a boundary in the over. So now it becomes, I've got to take a wicket with these last couple of balls. She almost gets it with a really lovely delivery. But she's only got one left now.
Yeah, Cara's been brilliant today. I think she's possibly bowled just two or three bad deliveries, but she's been on the money from ball one today. And hopefully she can finish her spell well here. Really good finish from Cara. 2 for 21 off her four overs. She'll be really pleased with her work. Held the length really well, was really consistent, and I thought her confidence and clarity of her field placing was very noticeable. So great spell there from Cara Murray.
Yeah, it was excellent. You can see her teammates, a bit of a round of applause there. No, she's bowled well. She's bowled her team into this game, just going up just over 5 and just those couple of balls. But the way she came on and just bowled from ball one, as you say, the confidence to bring up mid off, mid on, and the pace she bowled at was really exceptional today. So we're into the final 4. If I remember back to the Dragons innings, I think we looked at 89 at that stage. So if they went at 10 and over, we'd get them to 129. So we're not a million miles off here. Just the difference that Mary Waldron is set. She's on 47 towards her half century. There's well bowled from Leah Paul. So I think that's the difference at the minute. They've got Mary Waldron in there who's really set, and as you say, she's very clear in her plans at the minute. Yeah,
Mary's set, and she's on 47 or 45. Done a brilliant job. I still think 29 or 23. If they can lose a couple of wickets here, get Mary out, a bit of a panic. Great shot from Mary, great use of feet, and again, great running. I still think the game's in the balance of they can get Mary out and they can cause a bit of panic in the Typhoons dressing room. Stranger things have happened. As we've seen so frequently in T20 cricket, 1 over, you go bang bang and take 2 wickets, go for 2 or 3 runs. They can cause a bit of panic in the dressing room.
I was going to say she got away with that. I thought maybe I'd come off the pad. Umpire George Brawley doesn't think so. There's an extra ball to bowl. Bounce. Maybe the bounce at that end hasn't helped the Dragons on that occasion. It really took off. But yeah, you're right. Immediately now, not much coming from the over so far. A few big shots now being played, much more risk.
Really well worked there. Great use of the crease, just getting outside off and rotating to mid-wicket. 2 deliveries left from Leah Paul, who's bowled well today while she hasn't taken a wicket. I think she's been better in her last 2 overs. Been a little bit brave bringing that offside fielder up into the ring, as we spoke about, and every time she's hit the stumps, she's created pressure. So hopefully she can finish her spell on a positive note.
And again, a different option for Mary Waldron. As we mentioned a few times, very clear on what she's trying to do. Just gives herself a lot of room outside the off stump to pull into the leg side. Bill Armstrong positioned out there. And that deep mid-wicket boundary keeps it to 1. There'll be 1 more, I think. Yeah, just 1 more. So not a bad over for the Dragons. And we're now up to 8 and over. Shane, we look at that. Runs to win, to balls remaining. It's now +6. 8 and over now. And as you say, if a wicket falls, it'll be very difficult for somebody to come in, score at that rate. But saying that, obviously, new bowlers required for the Dragons. Cara Murray bowled out. So we could be in for a cracking finish here.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to be teed up nicely here for the last 3 overs to be a really exciting finish for the viewers and everyone here at Eglinton today. It's been The sun's been out, it's been nice and warm. Not too warm in the tent, but a little bit warmer for the spectators sitting on the benches under the sun. But no, hopefully exciting finish here in the last 3 overs, 24 for 18. Hopefully Kate McAvoy can come on and have some clear plans and do a good job for her team.
Yeah, but again, this is what Super Series cricket is about. T20, under pressure, game on the line. Can you perform? Decent start from the Dragons. There's a big gap there into that mid-wicket area, but they're able to cover it and make sure it's only one. Slight disadvantage of that is it brings Mary Waldron on strike. She needs 1 for a half century. That's not what you'd be looking for. She'd be looking to pick up a boundary.
Really well batted for Mary Waldron. That's 50 or 48 deliveries. Really good. Been busy at the crease all day from ball 1. Hasn't hit the field too much. Really found her gaps well. Stuck to her game throughout, and hopefully she can continue to take it home for her team. A strike rate of 104, 5 boundaries, not 6s, but she's just spent just under an hour at the crease, and she's done a brilliant job for her team, and hopefully she can continue that for the last 2.5 overs.
You're not sure that's the option at this time.
Yeah, we've just seen the last 2 overs, a couple loose shots from Georgia, playing a miss on the last end, going across the line from Leah, and then maybe a shot she practices in training, which is fair enough, but not too sure if that's needed right now. With a short boundary straight, mid off in the ring, mid on in the ring, I think going over the top is possibly a better option.
Call that again, Shane. You've absolutely nailed that one this time, my friend, because that's exactly the shot that Georgia Atkinson has turned to. Sometimes when you play those funky little shots and they don't come off, you just go back to basics. I think that's exactly what she's done there. She's picked that up and hit it straight down the ground for 4. There you go, straight down the ground. That's a much better option, I think, the way she's been playing. And gets a boundary and takes them up over the 100 mark. We're down to 18 required now. And that also brought up the 50 partnership between these two. Better than a run of ball. They've got to finish the job now. And this time she gets it. I suppose you could say, what do we know? Because she's gone completely back to it again. And this time, got plenty of it. Possibly Kate McAvoy bowling a little bit wide there, and again a little bit floated out. Side that off, and Georgia Atkinson's got the hold of that one. And those 2 boundaries have just brought it back.
Yeah, really tough for the bowler now. George has gone downtown towards the side screens and then done the switch hit over backward point. So I think the bowler will be a bit scrambled in the head now. I'm not too sure where to bowl. It's kind of release the pressure of those last two deliveries. Really well played from Kate from Georgia, into mid-wicket for 1. Just releasing the pressure there, those last 3 deliveries, as Georgia moves on to 30 or 28 deliveries. As we move into the last 2 overs, 13 needed. That over seems to have taken the pressure off a little bit for the Typhoons. You feel the Dragons definitely need a wicket or 2 in this next over.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, cracking game here at Eglinton today, going right down to the wire. Won't be a bonus point situation for the Typhoons, but if they can get these 13 runs, that will take them to the top of the table ahead of the crucial game then against the Scorchers, who currently sit 3 points clear at the top of the series. And the Typhoons obviously will be looking to break that stranglehold that the Scorchers have had. So a big 2 overs, and you turn to your top bowlers then, and it's going to be Arlene Kelly who's going to change ends again back to the Willows end where she started. And the 19th is often crucial. It's in the air, but it's going to be safe. And indeed, it's going to just get across to mean that they can get back for 2. So we're now down to exactly the same way we started. A run a ball. But obviously the shortened format now, it's only 11 runs of 11 balls and still 7 wickets in the hutch.
Really well there from Arlene. Nice full delivery. And a dot ball, even more importantly. She can bowl, just hopefully get another squeeze in, another dot or 2, and get it down to the last over. 6, 7 off the last over. Funny things can happen.
Yeah, I don't know about you. Sometimes when I'm watching games like this, you know, so you're still playing in them. Just every ball seems to change the momentum. You know, a dot ball changes it, 4 changes it. Chance of a run out here. That's a direct hit. A fantastic piece of fielding. First of all, to pick the ball up cleanly and then to throw down the stumps. So that's a wicket, but also, of course, a dot ball. So a great piece of fielding. That could be the game changer. As I've just mentioned, every ball's an event here in the last few. A terrific piece of fielding, and George Atkinson has been run out.
Yeah, great piece of fielding there. Nice bounce for the fielder and a direct hit. It's not too many times a direct hit isn't out, as I experienced during the week against Leinster Lightning. So a massive wicket there for the Dragons. Hopefully they can squeeze another dot here on the new batter and take this over. Take this game deep into the last over.
So we've just mentioned about coming out to bat and start. As always, it's very difficult to get going, but especially in this scenario. There's a good knock from George Atkinson, 32 from 31, and these two have put on over 50, but that will not matter if they can't pick up these final runs. So it's Sarah Forbes who's come out to bat with Mary Waldron. And obviously with the run, Mary will be on strike, so that's a little bonus for the Typhoons, but just those dot ball and on the wicket. And here comes Arlene Kelly again for the 4th ball of the over. Side off again. Mary Waldron hurrying through. A good piece of fielding there. Paul on the offside, just down for 1. Get Sarah Forbes on strike. Really important to stop the 2 there.
Be great to finish the over here with 2 dots, and then leaving 10 to win off the last over. The new batters coming in here really need to give Mary the strike, I feel. Otherwise, Mary's going to feel the pressure, I feel, as well as she's batted. Coming into the last over, anything can happen.
Yeah, she's done well there. She's done well to just play that quite late. Get some bat on it. That was the important bit. This is good for the girls to work out. 7 balls, pressure coming on here. You can see them talking about 1 ball to come. What do we do here? Mary Waldron on strike. Don't really want to give her 1 here. She's going to get that 1 though. Yeah. So we're down to a cracker here in Eglinton today, Shane. It's been good all day. The weather's been great. We're up in the northwest here, as we say, at Woodville Road in Eglinton. We put on a great show today, and the cricket has matched it. We're down to the final over of this Evoke T20 Super Series match between the Dragons and the Typhoons. And it's going to be 8 runs to win. So a final over requiring 8 to win.
Really exciting finish here on our hands here at Eglinton. It's been a great game of cricket. It's ebbed and flowed throughout the day. So it'd be nice to hopefully, if the game can go down to the last delivery, just for the viewers at home, it'd be great to see. 8 to win off the last. It'll be interesting to see who Leah Paul decides to go with. Looks like possibly Alana Dazel to bowl the last. Yeah, so we have a cracking finish on our hands. Yeah, Mary will be hoping to take her team home and hopefully get a 50 odd not out and win the game for her team. As well as Alana bowled, bowling the last over a game, every bowler in the world is feeling that pressure. So if she can be nice and calm here under pressure, set her field and keep things nice and simple, possibly bowl full and straight as we talked about, no width. I think starting her over here is really key. So let's see how this over goes.
As you mentioned, this is what it's about, stepping up to the mark, final over, and the pressure on. Good clean hit. Oh, tremendous piece of fielding. That could have saved the game. Arlene Kelly at mid-on, diving across to her left. If that beats her, that's a boundary off the first ball. Instead, it's a single, a new batter on strike.
Unbelievable bit of fielding from Arlene Kelly. That was certainly a 4 in my book. Diving stop to her left, really, really, really good work. And well bowled from Alana Dazel. I think with the new batter now, they're going to look to hopefully squeeze a dot or two, which would be quite key for the Dragons here. And hopefully, Alana Dazel can go nice and straight and create that pressure.
Ariel just gets it over on Dalzell's head. Well played from Sarah Forbes. That was her job. She wasn't going to get a boundary off a bad ball. She had to get off strike. Can't eat up deliveries now. She's got Mary Waldron back on strike. Bit of chat from Arlene Kelly. Experience. So they're going to bring up third and drop Arlene Kelly to the boundary. Haven't seen that shot. Can't concede a boundary. 4 balls remaining. 6 to win. That's a good move then to take Arlene Kelly back. Down to 5 from 3.
Really well bowled there from Alana. Great plans, bringing the third man up and bowling a leg cut and having long on back. Really good skills from her. Really clear plans. She's, in my opinion, she's won these first deliveries. Hopefully she can continue this and execute her plans for the rest of the over and get a big win for her team.
Yeah, that's really well bowled from Alana Dalzell. Sarah Forbes taking the option to move across to the off stump to try and clear the leg side. Alana Dalzell bowls wide of the off stump. It's a dot ball. We're down to 2 balls now. Runs to win is 5. And the pressure now heaped on to the Typhoons. They need a victory. It's really good from Alana Dalzell, bowling stump to stump. No free ball there.
Really great plans, really well executed there from Alana Dazel. Nice and straight, long on back. We needed 4 was needed here with the last ball. Can Mary Waldron do it? She's been brilliant all day for her team. 54 not out. Can she hit the winning runs and finish a great game of cricket here?
This is what the Evoke Super Series is all about. We're down to the last ball. 4 runs are required. Here she comes. Alana Dalzell to Mary Waldron. Swinging a hit. She got enough of it. It's coming down towards the boundary. Arlene Kelly picks it up. Throws in. A good piece of work from Alana Dalzell. As Mary Waldron was coming back to try and run the extra run to get us to a super over. Good fielding from Arlene Kelly on the boundary. And it has to be said, a fantastic final over from Alana Dalzell. Took the pressure. And only 6 coming from it. And the Dragons have won today's game by a solitary run.
You have to feel for Mary Waldron there. She batted so well all day and hard lines to her, not taking her team over the line. But brilliant work from Alana Dazel to defend that in the last over, just going for 5 or for over. Really, really good work, clear plans, execution. So really well done. We had the feel for Mary Waldron. Great work from the Dragons. Great game of cricket here in the Northwest, and it's great to see Alana, a local, win the game for her team.
Yeah, if you've been with us here on this sunny Sunday afternoon, a fantastic game of cricket between the Typhoons and the Dragons. The Dragons have ended up winning this game, but fantastic from all 22 players today. It's been great to be here and watch this game. Nothing better to come down to the last over and watch the girls perform under pressure. And it's the Dragons who have come out on top. They move in to second place in the T20 Super Series. But it will come down to that final game between the Typhoons and the Scorchers. But a great game of cricket here today. It's been a privilege to be here and bring it to you. And good skills on show from both teams.
Just as we see the match summary here, the scorecard for the Dragons. We had Leah Paul with 44, Arlene Keeley with the 29, great partnership there in the middle. Got them up to a 120. We thought probably maybe 10 or 15 runs short, myself and Ali, but really good work there to get up to 120 and post a good total. Just as we look at some of the partnerships with the Dragons, obviously that key partnership with Leah Paul at 51 and Arlene Kelly did a great job there. Leah Paul and Alana Dazelle with 18, and also Bella Armstrong and Amy Hunter got off to a flying start.
Yeah, if we look back to the Typhoons bowling effort, some good bowling on show at all ends there. Eva Canning started up, but then Louise Little came on, bowled really well at that far end, the Willows end, got a lot of bounce. And Georgia Atkinson bowling a couple of overs there as well. Good mention to Alice Tector as well. She bowled her 2 overs for 12, but also took 3 catches for the Typhoons in the outfield, and their fielding was excellent. We move on and look at the batting for the Typhoons. Got off to a decent start, but Louise Little lost her wicket, caught and bowled by Arlene Kelly. And then Robin Searle and Mary Waldron put on a decent partnership before Cara Murray came on to bowl. And it was her introduction that really changed the game. She bowled beautifully, had a good pace for her leg spin. And she got a couple of wickets, Robin Searle and Laura Delaney, that really changed the innings. Partnerships all the way down for the Typhoons, but that little spell which just the run rate started to increase, and at the end there they just couldn't get those extra runs at the end.
Just the bottom bit figures there from the Dragons. Arlene Kelly 1 for 19 off her 4 overs, doing a really good job. Alana Dazelle obviously brilliant in that last over, really well done to her to be a local and win the game for her team. Top stuff. Cara Murray probably the pick of the bowlers for me, 2 for 21 off her 4 overs. Her confidence and clarity in her field setting and really changed the game, getting 2 big wickets. Leah Paul with North for 24, also doing a really good job for her side. Just the match summary there, just with the Dragons. Leah Paul 44, Arlene Kelly 29 with the bat. Laura Delaney doing a great job, 3 for 21 of her 4, and Louise Little, bowling with good pace and good bounce, 2 for 26 off her 4.
Yeah, so if you have been with us all day today, it's been a fantastic day here at Woodville Road in Eglinton. We've been fantastic hosts for this Evoke T20 match. The Dragons have ended up winning by 1 run, a fantastic game of cricket, come down to the last over, great performances, people standing up, especially Alana Dalzell at the end, boring that last over for 6 runs. The Dragons have won by 1 run. Thank you to everybody at Eglinton today, HBV for the production of today's game, and Eglinton for hosting what was a fantastic game of cricket. We move on to the last game between the Scorchers and the Typhoons. Great for you to have you with us all day today. It's been a fantastic game of cricket, and we hope to be with you again in the near future.